The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Owens Corning Fiberglass, manufacturers of Owens Corning Fiberglass insulation. Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang. And by the Skill Corporation. If you do it yourself and do it with pride, then do it with skill.
At Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Hello, everybody. I'm Lindsey Nelson with Paul Hornung here in Green Bay for the showdown battle between the Vikings and the Packers. They are all even atop the Central Division standing 7-5.
Lindsey, both teams have headed in opposite directions the last 5 weeks. The Packers have dropped 4 out of 5, and the Vikings right where they want to be. They won 4 out of 5, and this is it. This is for all the marbles, probably.
And it's a rematch that will have, of course, the oldest quarterback in the league against the youngest quarterback in the league.
Well, David Whitehurst, they pinned their hopes all year long on him. He started off, had a super first half of the season, but he has not thrown a touchdown pass, Lindsey, in what, the last 5 football games. Tarkenton, you got to tip your hat to him, folks. He has completed 254 passes already this year, the most of any quarterback in the National Football League.
Playing conditions ideal.
Well, it's perfect. I'll tell you one thing. I'm finally going to be here in Green Bay for a game, and I'm not going to get cold today.
Yeah, but that moves from time to time. I don't know what that means. Let's go down to the field. Minnesota won the toss, and they have elected to receive, and they will be receiving. To our right as you look at the field, and the Green Bay Packers will be kicking off in the first meeting on October 22nd. Minnesota won by a score of 21-7 at Minnesota. Here are the game officials, headed by Gordon McCarter, assigned here this afternoon by the National Football League. We have had some light snow, very light snow, just a few flakes fall during the morning and early afternoon. Markle has teed the ball up, and Kevin Miller is center deep to receive it for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, Lindsey, the Vikings are about 3-point favorites in this football game, but I'll tell you one thing, sellout as usual here at Green Bay. The crowd should move the Packers up a little bit.
And it is over to the 14-yard line, return to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and across the 30-yard line. And it was Harry Washington who returned it to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Minnesota Vikings. Tarkenton, Young, and Foreman in that backfield. And the receivers, Rashad, White, and Tucker. The offensive line, Myers, Goodrum, Tingelhoff, Hamilton, and Yari for the Minnesota Vikings. Coached by Bud Grant. And Tarkenton, 254 completions and 407 throws, 62.4 completion percentage, 16 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. Sammy White in motion across. Ricky Young is carrying. Ricky Young to the 35-yard line. Steve Luke up from his strong safety to make the tackle. Going to be spotted at the 36-yard line, a gain of 4, make it 2nd down and 6. Butler, Rolla, Barzalauskas, and Johnson, the offensive front four for the defensive front four for Green Bay. The linebackers, Weaver, Hunt, and Anderson. And the deep men, Buchanan, McCoy, Luke, and Gray. 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Minnesota Vikings send Rashad to the left side, and they put Sammy White in the slot left. Run a wing right with a lone setback. And the pitch to Foreman. Chuck Foreman goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Green Bay Packers and the National Football League is prohibited.
Lindsey, the Minnesota Vikings would love to improve on their rushing performance, especially the last couple of games. They've only gained 150 yards in the last 2 games running the football. Foreman is way behind in stats as far as his rushing totals are concerned. At the same time last year, he had over 900 yards rushing, but he's still such a threat. He has been bothered by a bad knee a couple of games.
3rd and short for the Minnesota Vikings. Foreman. Green Bay's defense trying to wrestle him back. Now the progress is going to be marked. Up there near the 42. Butler was there, and so was Gary Weaver. But now they take a long look to see if he made it. I don't think he did.
I think he came up a little bit short. Here it is again off the right side. Now, if you're a Minnesota Viking fan, you watch him all year. Usually Chuck goes over the top in that situation. But you've got a guy 6'5" over there, Mike Butler, who I think had the dive over the right tackle cut off. So Foreman ducked underneath, and let's see if he made it.
They bring out the chain now to measure for the possible first down. And it's short. It's short. Fourth down coming up. And here comes the punting unit onto the field now, led by Greg Coleman, who has averaged 39.1. And the defense of the Green Bay Packers gets a hand from the Pack faithful. Bundle up here at Lambeau Field. Johnny Gray has dropped back as Greg Coleman will be going into deep punt formation. Steve Odom, of course, broke a leg and is out. Johnny Gray back there in single safety on the punt return. We're in the first quarter. There is no score of the game having just begun. Coleman. Johnny Gray retreats.
Beauty.
At the 10-yard line, Gray has it. He's at the 15. Falls up to the 17-yard line. The Packers start 1st and 10 at their 17. It was Scott Studwell downfield to make the stop.
Well, that's a fine addition to the Minnesota Vikings during the season. Greg Coleman doing the punting now. A 48-yard punt, Lindsey.
Introducing a new American road car. The all-new Ford LTD for $79, with more front seat room, more rear seat room, more window area, and more handling ease than last year's LTD. Plus the power of a V8 engine standard. A road car to take you across town or across the country.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
To test drive the all-new LTD on your own roads, see your Ford dealer today.
We're here in the desert to prove how much power and endurance is packed into the Skill cordless 3/8-inch drill and screwdriver. With just one charge, we drilled 199 holes.
200.
And it still has enough muscle to drill through concrete and drive screws into metal with 2-speed trigger for better control. For any tough job at home or anywhere, take along the Skill cordless drill and screwdriver and do it with skill.
1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers at their own 17. David Whitehurst brings them up. 125 completions and 241 passes, 51.9 completion percentage, 8 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Verdell Middleton reverses the field, but makes a loss, fumbles the ball, and Minnesota recovers at the 9-yard line. The Minnesota Vikings have recovered Verdell Middleton's fumble, and it's Jim Marshall on the ball. Jim Marshall, who has played in all 251 games played by the Vikings since the franchise was activated.
Here it goes, out of the eye. He was the deep back. He moved to the left halfback position. On the snap, around the right side, both guards pulling. Now watch Matt Blair. He causes the play right there from his linebacker position. He hits him with these left hands, strips him with the football. Marshall's got it. Vikings 1st and goal at the 9.
Van Tarkenton brings them up. He'll be 39 years of age his next birthday. Gives it to Foreman, and Foreman goes through to the 5-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and goal at the 5. Dave Roller, 5-year veteran from Kentucky, in there on the tackle.
Well, Lindsey and I haven't worked every Minnesota game. We worked them 2 or 3 times. We got an injury timeout down on the field. But I'll tell you one thing, Lindsey. I don't believe the Minnesota Vikings offense have run 4 straight offensive plays starting off the game. They've always mixed in a pass or 2, and this is a little unusual. Of course, with a break like this, they've got an excellent opportunity to go up 7-0.
So we have no score here in the ball game with 13 minutes, 16 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter.
Introducing a whole new breed of Mustang. The all-new 79 Mustang from Ford. With a new aerodynamic design, precise handling, and Mustang performance from options of V6, V8, even a turbocharged engine. Mustang for 79, the new breed in 2-door and 3-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Hey, where you been? Well, it wasn't easy getting tickets for this game.
Hey, Bob.
Teddy, I know exactly what I want. I want the biggest steak you got and a bottle of Lowenbrow. Steak and Lowenbrow. Dolan, you're a genius.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight
Let it be Lowenbrow.
Here's to the chef. Here's to the bartender.
Highballin', starring country music singer Jerry Reed and Peter Fonda in a television premiere on the CBS Tuesday night movies at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Chuck Goodrum was injured on the last play, and Dennis Swilley has replaced him at the offensive left guard. It is second down. Goal to go for the Vikings at the Packers' 5-yard line. Foreman in motion right. Ricky Young to the 2-yard line. It'll be third down and goal. John Anderson made the tackle. 3rd and 2 for the Vikes at the Packers' 2-yard line. Little light snow is falling. The prediction is for 1 to 2 inches later in the day.
Here's Ricky Young over the middle. Watch John Anderson from his right linebacker position. Comes over with the pursuit. Little bit short, just inside the 2-yard line.
Third down play coming now for the Minnesota Vikings. Foreman's in the right set. Ricky Young is in the left set. Van Tarkenton at quarterback. That's Young in motion to the outside right.
Roll out right.
Tarkenton rolling. Now wants to throw back. He's chased back. Rashad is down and up. And now Tarkenton sets and throws, and it is incomplete to Rashad. Mike McCoy was the defender. Mike McCoy and Rashad have been playing tag all around the corner of the end zone.
The old scrambler. I tell you, the Green Bay fans have seen this for so many years. Tarkenton on the right side, and you got to give credit to that defensive secondary of the Packers. They really put some coverage on those receivers downfield. Tarkenton still cannot get caught. He finally comes over, tries to get to Rashad, incomplete. McCoy was right there.
So now Krause is in the hole for Danmar. On a 19-yard attempt, Danmar's 11 for 16, his longest of the year, 47. It's down, it's up, and the 19-yarder is good. And so the Minnesota Vikings have capitalized on the recovery of the fumble, but have to settle for a field goal, and the score is the Vikings 3 and Green Bay 0.
Owens Corning would like to help you understand insulation R values. R stands for resistance to heat flow. It's the right way to measure insulating power, not thickness. Look, it takes about 18 feet of stone to give you an R value of R19, but only 15 inches of wood and 6 inches of this Owens Corning fiberglass insulation. So check for R value. The higher the R value, the greater the insulating power. Want to know about insulation? Ask Owens Corning.
The new Ford Pinto for $79. A new design for a little American workhorse. New up here, new back here, new in here, and it's loaded. Bucket seats, standard. AM radio and electronic ignition, standard. 2.3-liter engine, standard. Electric rear window defroster, standard. Rack and pinion steering, standard. Front disc brakes, standard. At this low price, the spanking new '79 Pinto at your Ford dealer.
Minnesota will kick off. Danmar's teeing it up. Andre Thompson is dropped back as Danmar puts the ball on the tee, and there is Thompson center deep. Game time temperature 30 degrees here at Green Bay. Wind from the northeast at 13 miles per hour. Danmar with the boot. It's going to carry short. Taken by Thompson at the 15 to the 20, 25, 30. Thompson to the 35, returns to the 37-yard line. First and 10 for the Packers there. Phil Wise made the tackle for the Minnesota Vikings.
Nice return by Andre Thompson that time.
Well, there you are, Paul. Honolulu is 81 degrees.
And we're going back to Honolulu to say hello to everybody over there.
January, would you believe?
January, I'll be there. January 16th, going to have a little vacation back in my favorite spot.
Whitehurst, Smith, and Middleton in the backfield for the Packers now. This is Turdell Middleton. Found a hole and got through to the 44-yard line. Tom Hannon made the tackle.
Good shot. Watch Seaman go to the floor. Watch Middleton come on the outside. A good block by Larry McCurry in the center. And Middleton got a good 8 yards, 2nd and 2.
Middleton from Memphis State came into this game with 903 yards rushing, an average of 4.5 yards per carry, and 9 touchdowns. They're in an I formation. Big Barty Smith is ahead of Middleton and moves over to a left set now. Andre Thompson in motion across. Middleton Got the first down, I think.
Oh, somebody moved on the left side. There is a flag down back about the 43-yard line. He got the first down, Lindsey, off the right side. There's
Ellis, Sutherland, White, and Marshall, the front four. Illegal motion indicated against the Green Bay Packers. Linebackers are Blair, Seaman, and McNeil. The deep men are Wright, Bryan, Wise, and Hannon for Minnesota.
no question about this. They'll take the 5.
They're just getting set to step it off. To the 39-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 8.
Illegal motion, number 76, offense. Repeat, 2nd down.
Tim Stokes, the left tackle, was the man who moved. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Vikings are leading 3-0 in the first quarter. David Whitehurst will be 24 years old his next birthday. He drops back and out to Middleton. He's up to the 43-yard line as Matt Blair made the tackle.
Cleveland, a 4-point lead, second quarter over the Rams. 2 field goals back for Ozzie Newsome, the fine rookie from Alabama, with the only touchdown in that ball game for Cleveland. And New Orleans and Atlanta, and that's in a very important game for both teams. 7-7 second quarter. And the Giants with the 3-point lead over Buffalo. Jets and Miami have traded field goals.
3rd down and 4 yards to go for the Green Bay Packers at their 43. Whitehurst. And it's across for a first down to Marty Smith. Marty Smith at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers. And the hit was made by Seaman and Blair.
Now that's something the Packers have been lacking the last 3 or 4 games, Lindsey. Pass protection. This time, David Whitehurst gets all day to survey the situation, and he goes to his backs. Now, from the right of your screen, you'll see Marty Smith slip off in a little check pattern right over the middle. Seaman, man-to-man coverage on him. He got him, but was a first down for Smith.
Smith got shaken up, and Colbreth has replaced him at fullback now. Colbreth is in for Smith. Colbreth gets the ball. Gets up to the 50-yard line before Fred McNeil makes the tackle. A gain of 2 and make it 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Here comes Marty Smith back into the ball game for the Packers. Just out for the one play, and Colbreth comes off. 9 minutes, 43 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Lofton far to the right side. Andre Thompson set in a slot right. They split the running backs for Whitehurst. Andre Thompson in motion across. Here Del Middleton. Puts his head down and drives. He is at the 46-yard line. Picked up 4. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Well, he earned 4 yards on this one, Lindsey. Here it is, straight ahead zone blocking. Here comes Turdell Middleton over. Watch him duck his head right there. That's Tom Hannon, the safety man, with help from McCoy.
3rd down at 4 yards to go at the 46. Andre Thompson in motion across. This is Middleton. Got to the sticks. It's a first down at the 40-yard line. Fred McNeil made the stop, but the Packers keep the drive alive. 1st and 10 at the Vikings 40.
Well, he wanted the first down, and he was going to wait on his guard. Darrell Goforth was a little slow in turning upfield, Lindsey, and he just said, well, I need about 7. I've got to get that first down, and he got it.
Gordon McCarter, the referee here this afternoon. The lights are on. Andre Thompson out to the left side, and James Lofton, the rookie from Stanford, out to the right side. Middleton moves to a right set. Marty Smith. Big Marty Smith threw to the 35-yard line for 5 yards. It's 2nd and 5.
Oh, they're going right at him, Lindsey. I talked to a couple of the Packer coaches before this game started. I said, Zeke Bradkowski, there he is with the headset on. What's the game plan today? He said, Paul, I'll tell you, we're just going to go try to go right at their strength, just run the football down their throats, and just hope that we can have a passing game off the running fake. And so far, that offensive line's been coming off the football. They're just stuffing it down Minnesota's throat.
Into the I formation. Middleton's the tailback, and he has the football. Slips on the cut. No gain. He stopped at the 35. It'll be 3rd and 5.
wasn't going anywhere.
Field, of course, was covered against the light snow that has fallen in the area, but the system that they have underneath the surface of the playing field, it can be turned on and used for the purpose of thawing the field, was not used because what he does with that tarp on there is likely to get moisture up there and make it a muddy field.
I think Papa Bear Hall has sold our old coach Vince Lombardi on that idea, and it didn't work.
Third down and 5 yards to go. Whitehurst. Well, he's pulled down back at the 43-yard line.
Eller.
Carl Eller in pursuit, 15-year veteran from the University of Minnesota.
But the sack was caused by number 72, James Duck White. Watch Eller. He's going man-to-man against Greg Cook. That's Greg Cook, the right tackle. Blair is also on a blitz on the outside. But back on the inside of the pocket, 72, James White caused Whitehurst to move up into the pocket, enabling Eller to get the sack.
David Beverly has averaged 36.4 on his kicks. He's in punt formation. Kevin Miller is back center deep. Beverly puts it up high, and the fair catch signal goes up, and it is made at the 21-yard line.
Not too good a punt, Linz. He's only been averaging 36.4. He needs a better punter than that.
So it'll be 1st and 10 when play is resumed, and they'll have it at the 21, a 22-yard punt.
For those parents who realize that $600 isn't too much to spend to expand their child's world, Radio Shack has the perfect gift. TRS-80 computer, the most significant investment a parent can make. Programs for your child's education or your business, finance, and home use. Let your children discover tomorrow's technology today. The TRS-80, the biggest name in little computers. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Hey, listen, if you're a mild-mannered soul like me, Dick Butkus, you'll really go for a Ford van, because this baby's built tough. With tough body-on-frame construction, cushioned by rubbered mounts. And Ford's out-front engine design means easy move-around room inside. So Ford's the right game plan, whether you're working it or just going out to play games. Right, Coach?
Right, Dick.
That's my kind of coach.
Ford's got all kinds of vans right now at your Ford dealers.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the World Welterweight Full Contact Karate Championship and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
6 minutes, 15 seconds remain to be played in the first quarter. The Vikings are leading 3-0. They have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 21. Ricky Young, Chuck Foreman, the setbacks for Fran Tarkenton. Tarkenton now, back to throw. Guns it, and it's a little short to Rashad. Short hop.
Well, they'd like to have that one back. Rashad was wide open on a deep turn-in for the first down. Here's Rashad. Good camera work here. We got him right on a little turn-in. Watch Rashad. Now, he has plenty of yards for the first down. Now he comes back for the football, and it is underthrown.
To make it 2nd down and 10 yards to go for the Vikings at their own 21-yard line. You can see the armband on the left sleeve being worn in memory of Jocko Nelson, the linebacker coach who passed away last Sunday. So the Vikings are wearing black armbands on the left sleeve in memory of Jocko Nelson. Foreman fumble.
Very lucky that it looked as if it bounced right back in Foreman's arms.
That's what you call fortunate.
Well, he had a couple of fumbles last week, Lindsay, in the loss to San Diego. And he said, well, you're just going to have some good days and bad days. Here it is. There's a fumble, and it comes right back up into Chuck's arms.
Picked up 2 on the play. It's 3rd down and 8 now to 23. Big 3rd down play. They got the nickel defense in now for the Green Bay Packers. An expectation of Tarkenton's going to the air. He drops back. And it's incomplete. It went one way and Ricky Young was going the other.
What a move by Dave Roller. He put the little twist on, and Dave Roller caused that incompletion. Watch Dave Roller now, right to the left of your screen, going against Dennis Swilley. You see that quick move? And right here, Tarkenton had no chance. Had no chance to set up. The pattern couldn't even moving, Lindsay. They couldn't get the pattern started at all because of the great rush by Roller.
Greg Coleman will punt to Johnny Gray.
Better hurry.
Under a heavy rush. It hits on the 50 and takes a Viking bounce to the 35. There'll be no run back, and it will be blown dead at the 33-yard line.
Oh, they almost blocked that punt.
CBS Sports Spectacular will be coming up next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to talk to you, Paul, about the Professional Karate Association's welterweight championship.
And that's Steve Shepard against former champion Ernie Hart. They will really give you a show, folks.
I want to talk to you about something else in which you're a spectator, the World's Strongest Men competition.
A spectator? You think I could be anything else but a spectator? That's where they're going to pull a tram, I think. Tram pull.
Going to pull the tram, and that's on the Sports Spec next Saturday. 1st and 10 now. For the Green Bay Packers at their own 33. Marty Smith, Turdell Middleton. 44-yard punt with the roll that time. Plenty of time, but incomplete. An effort made to pick it by Lofton down low.
Trying to get it to their great rookie, James Lofton, on a quick post pattern.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go now for the Packers. Middleton looking over to the sideline to get his next play from Bartkowski, who wigwags him out there. Smith and Middleton in the eye. Middleton moves to the left set. Whitehurst gives it to Marty Smith. And his big fullback goes to the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go for the Green Bay Packers. Now you see again, David Whitehurst looking for the play. Convenes the huddle now to relay the information that he's picked up from the sideline. Third down. Whitehurst. Spilled at the 31 by Matt Blair.
Now, Blair made the play, Lindsey, but the great play was made by Eller. They tried to cut Eller down, and then Whitehurst is going to roll outside the defensive end. Eller just stepped over the block, forced it inside where Blair made the tackle.
So you see Kevin Miller dropping back in anticipation of receiving the punt from David Beverly, whose last kick was a 22-yarder. They've got 10 men up close this time with only Kevin Miller back there. Last time they had a triumvirate deep, but this time a single safety.
Watch the rush.
Kevin Miller at the 30-yard line. 35. He'll be marked at the 39-yard line, although he scrambled to his feet and continued. Larry McCarron made the hit that threw him off balance.
A 40-yard punt, Lindsey, and he had a little daylight if he could have kept his balance.
NFL regional games coming up next week. Atlanta versus Cincinnati. These Green Bay Packers will be at Tampa Bay. We'll be there. Los Angeles and the Giants.
And then other NFL regional games. Detroit goes against St. Louis. It's the Eagles against these same Vikes, and the 49ers against the Saints next Sunday.
Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. All the action begins with the NFL Today pregame show. Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy, and Irv Cross. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Quick pitch to Foreman. Chuck Foreman drives it up to the 48 before Steve Luke brings him down. 2nd down and a long yard to go.
Here's Dave Roller now. They're in an odd man setup. Watch Mick Tingelhoff work against Dave Roller. Goes over for the cutoff. Foreman around the right side, and Roller gets in on the tackle. No, he doesn't get in on the tackle. Good running by Chuck.
Roller has come out of the ball game, been replaced by Terry Jones. 2nd down, about a yard and a half. Ricky Young didn't get there. He was overhauled by Gary Weaver. So it'll be a 3rd down play coming now for the Minnesota Vikings. Loss of a foot or so call it 3rd and 2. 2 minutes, 43 seconds remain to be played in the first quarter. Minnesota Vikings are leading by a score 3-0. Vikes are in a slot left. Rashad is wide left. Here's the pitch to Foreman. Got the first down, yards to spare. Johnny Gray rides him out at the 39-yard line.
Yep, I think he's the most valuable back in the last 6 years in the National Football League. This is his 6th season. Here's a little pitch around the right side. The Vikings pick up their first down of this ball game, and it looks as if Chuck has got his legs back. Finally pulled down by Johnny Gray.
Chuck Foreman came into this game with 574 yards rushing, an average of 3.3 per carry. His longest of the year from scrimmage, 21 yards. 14 yards on that one. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Tarkenton. And it is complete. It is going to be marked up about the 35-yard line. Bob Tucker, the tight end, with his 34th reception of the year. Mike McCoy made the tackle.
Well, Fran has been throwing the ball with such regularity. The Vikings have 4 receivers in the top 10 of the National Football Conference, the NFC. Tucker, Sammy White, Rashad, and of course Ricky Young, who leads the whole National Football League with 68 catches.
2nd down and 7 yards to go. A gain of 3 on that last one. The ball is at the Green Bay Packers 36-yard line, and we have 1 minute remaining to be played in the first quarter. Penalty marker. Foreman beat the snap. Ricky Young got the handoff and moved to the 33-yard line. But Chuck Foreman got an early start. The option is that of the Green Bay Packers. There was a gain of about 2 yards on the play. They're taking a long look over there to set it up.
You know, Lindsay, I think the Vikings probably, and Fran, of course, have been primarily responsible for changing the thinking in the passing game of the National Football League. Now, before, for instance, when I was playing with the Packers, if you threw to your backs, it was either as a safety valve pass. Very few times would you run really patterns downfield. We caught 28, 29 passes. They said, well, the Packers were completing a lot of passes to the backs. Today, Tarkenton goes to his backs first.
Motion, number 44, offense. Repeat, 2nd down.
The thinking is, as far as the Viking passing offense is the primary receivers, number 1, are his backs, and then he goes downfield secondary to his other receivers, and that's the way the pass offense is simulated for the Minnesota Vikings.
And 2nd and 12, they'll look for him to be passing here. Dave Roller, by the way, has come back into the ball game at tackle, but they also have the nickel in there in anticipation of Tarkenton putting the ball up with 55 seconds remaining in the quarter. Oh, just short of the 40-yard line. Well, that one was stacked up to Foreman. Dave Roller got to Foreman in a hurry.
Well, he's so quick. Dennis Swilly, who's checked in for Charles Goodwin, who was hurt in the first quarter. Watch him right there at the left of your screen. Now he pulls a little influence play, and it did not influence Dave Roller. Now Roller being so quick, what they tried to do was pull the left guard and hoping Roller would go with the pull, creating a natural hole. It's just a little sucker play, but it didn't sucker Dave Roller.
3rd down and 12 yards to go for the Vikings. Ball is at their 41. That's Young in motion outside right. Tarkenton's rolling right. And it is completed to Foreman. Foreman is trying to get to the sticks as he dived across the 30-yard line. It is very, very close.
Now, if you wonder how they get outside as the clock runs down to the end of the quarter, Lindsay, they're cutting, they're blocking the defensive end, enabling Fran to circle right and get outside that defensive end. That is the key to the play.
The gun has sounded ending the period, and so they will step it off as soon as they determine whether or not it is a first down. They're going to take out the chain, I think, and measure for that before they start to move the ball.
It's approximately a 12-yard pickup. It looked like he got the first down from our vantage point up there, but they marked it, I think, a little bit close, or it's very, very close.
It's short. It's short. It's that short. So it'll be 4th down, and the ball is at the 29-yard line. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is Minnesota 3 and the Green Bay Packers nothing. It'll be 4th down when players resume.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer
There he
will
is.
pour.
Hey, you got here early. Al, 2 more Lowenbrow. Lowenbrow. Well, isn't that what regional sales managers drink? Yes, You got it. I got it. You got it.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Congratulations, Big Shot. And I suppose you're going to forget your friends now? Probably.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
At Pioneer, we don't build a high-fidelity receiver the way some of our competitors do. Instead of a pressboard bottom, our SX780 has a metal one that limits interference. It has power meters and a DC power supply for richer bass. It's things like this that have made Pioneer #1 among people who care about music. And isn't that why you buy high-fidelity components? Because you care about music? Pioneer's SX780.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Come fly with me in one magnificent flying machine, the 79 Thunderbird. I love its luxurious cockpit. Fly with a V8 engine.
Power steering and power brakes all standard. Glide in great style with wrap-over roof and opera windows at a down-to-earth sticker price.
79 Thunderbird. What a way to fly at your Ford dealers.
In Green Bay, Wisconsin, this is Lindsey Nelson with Paul Hornung as we start the second quarter. Minnesota leads 3-0, 4th and 1. They're going to go double tight end. Foreman and Miller are the setbacks.
Yeah, normally they love to let Chuck have the football and dive over. Going outside.
He's got the first down. Spinning into the hands of Ezra Johnson, but he got enough for the first down.
Luke was right there. Number 46, you see him getting up. Those are great gloves. I wish they had them when we were playing, Lindsey. You see a lot of the ball players today wear these almost like a golfing glove. It's a little bit heavier than a golfing glove. It's very soft leather, and it's just so firm to your hand. It's really tight, and at weather like this, the ball just comes in so nice and easy. Makes the little things a lot easier.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line. Danny White's in motion across. That's Ricky Young. Roller hanging on as he moved inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line.
Vikings came off the football on the left side that time. Moved him right out.
Foreman has come out of the ball game, and Robert Miller is in there along with Ricky Young now.
And St. Louis dropped their first 8 football games and now on a 4-game winning streak. A field goal, 3-0.
Rashad and White are double to the left side. Robert Miller's in the right side. Ricky Young in the left side. Ricky Young in motion to the outside right. Miller, Robert Miller. Trying to get to the sticks for another first down. He's close. Mike Hunt, the rookie from the University of Minnesota, in to make the tackle for the Green Bay Packers.
And I tell you, the Viking offense is the same thing. Here's an early second quarter score. Tampa Bay, early field goal over the Bears. The Vikings also, the game plan must be, let's run the football.
They're going to measure for the possible first down now.
Tarkenton has only attempted 5 passes here, and we're already in the second quarter. Normally by this time, he's thrown the ball 12, 15 times.
It's short. It'll be third down and inches to go. Ball near the 23-yard line. Used a chain to spot the ball at the inbound marker is what he's doing there.
Triple tight end. You got Tucker, Craig, and Stu Voigt all checking in on that offensive alignment for the Vikings.
Third down play coming. Vikings are leading 3-0. Chuck Foreman's in the left side, Miller's in the right side here. Foreman, first and 10. Up and over in the approved Foreman fashion.
Virtually impossible to stop. Sam the Bam Cunningham, the former SC All-American and now playing with New England, has fashioned this play. And Chuck Foreman has taken the lead, and for the last couple of years, this is the way the Vikings get their first down.
Ball is at the 17-yard line, where it's first and 10 now for the Minnesota Vikings. We're in the second quarter here in Green Bay. Rashad's coming to a wide right. Robert Miller's in the left set. Ricky Young's in the right set. That's Ricky Young in motion. And it's dropped by Tarkenton. Quarterback recovers. Ran Tarkenton as he started to spin out, dropped the ball. Took a loss of a yard.
Joe Pisarcik would have loved to have this kind of a fumble last week for the New York Giants when the Eagles won the last second. Here it is, right in between his legs, and Tarkenton makes a nice little recovery.
You can't lose a ball game in the circumstances the Giants were in.
You just cannot.
Nor can you win one in the circumstances the Eagles were in. No timeouts left.
I tell you, football teams, you don't mind getting beat sometimes when you're in a tough football game, but when you beat yourself.
Young started, but he got set again. So Tarkenton retreats. And he is hit.
Oh, he got killed.
Incomplete pass, says McCarter. McCarter says incomplete pass.
His arm was going forward.
Mike Butler unloaded, and it's an incomplete pass.
Of course, the hometown fans here do not like the call, but Tarkenton did not see Butler at all. Watch this hit. Now, this is what you get paid $450,000 for, folks.
It'll be third down and 11 yards to go at the 18, and Green Bay's getting the nickel defense in there again. Estes Hood comes in that defense. Harry Washington's going out to a wide left. Sammy White's doubled out there. Rashad to the right side.
Well, probably double team White on the inside slot there to left your screen.
Whistle stops play. Penalty markers thrown everywhere. Officials conferred. Against the Vikings, a 5-yard penalty, an illegal procedure penalty. We'll get a further explanation from referee Gordon McCarter as soon as he steps it off. He will identify the offender, I think.
Ball start, number 73, offense.
Ron Yarrow. Loss of 5 makes it 3rd and 16. At the 23-yard line.
Well, they had the last call. They had Sammy White doing a corner pattern. Let's see if they change it.
Tarkenton being chased. He's at the 40. Goes back across field to Sammy White, and it is intercepted at the 7-yard line. Intercepted by the Green Bay Packers. Sammy White was the offensive man there.
Well,
Mike McCoy.
The only thing Fran was hoping for here was a incompletion. He threw it up for grabs. He's very lucky he didn't get sacked for a big loss. Watch him throw it up.
My wife got the house, but I got the Sony.
Darn. I thought they were going to give me a Sony.
Most people feel very special about Sony Trinitron Color TVs, probably because Sony Trinitron Color TVs are very special. You see, it's not just a TV, it's a Sony.
I hope he's not disappointed. I think he was expecting a Sony.
We'd like you to meet State Farm car insurance agent Mike Little, State Farm homeowners agent, State Farm life agent, and State Farm health agent Mike Little.
When it comes to family insurance, your State Farm agent is one agent who does the work of 4. And that makes things a lot easier for you. Just one agent to tell your needs to. Just one agent to call when you need help.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Let's take another look. Here's Tarkenton. Now he almost gets sacked right there, number 63. That's Terry Jones, forcing Tarkenton to run out of the pocket. Now he just throws it up, and he's actually hoping just for an incompletion here. Estes Hood, number 38, comes up with the interception. He checked in for one of the linebackers in the nickel defense.
1st and 10 at the 7-yard line now. Let's leave it on the ground, and it is Big Barty Smith. Out to the 11-yard line. He picked up 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go for the Packers. The Vikings are leading by a score of 3-0. Pack has lost 4 of its last 5 games. At one point, they were 6-1 in the early season. Called the Cinderella team of the National Football League. their head coach Bart Starr. Under Thompson in motion out back to the inside. Cordell Middleton. Cordell Middleton. Penalty marker. Penalty marker thrown. Jeff Seaman made the tackle.
That was Mel Jackson out in front. He might have used his arms. Let's check it out. And you see the Packers shaking their heads. They don't like it.
Holding against the Packers. Packer fans don't like it either.
Oh, they had some running room on the outside. That's a running back's dream, Lindsey, to get a guard out in front of you and turn that corner. And all you look up, you see a cornerback out there. And that's a cornerback about 180 pounds, and you got a guard in front of you who weighs about 260, 265.
Penalty's going to put the ball back at the 9-yard line.
Holding, number 71, offense.
That was Jackson.
Repeat, second down.
That was Jackson leading the way. He just ran over the cornerback, but they caught him holding.
Makes it 2nd and 8 on the 9-yard line. Middleton and Smith in the I formation. Middleton moves out to a left set. Whitehurst. Now George.
Good catch.
Made the catch out there at the 13-yard line. Will not be enough for a first down.
9-year veteran from Little Elon College. McGeorge now needs 2 more catches to tie Ron Kramer as a tight end. Most catches in Green Bay Packer history. He has 168 now.
Ball is up to 13 and it's 3rd down and 4 yards to go, 3rd and 4. 11 minutes, 22 seconds left to play in the first half.
Big play defensively coming up for the Vikings here. They love to hold them. Should be able to get good field position on the punt. Comes that same play.
Middleton. And he's down at the 11-yard line.
Oh,
it was Phil Wise on the tackle.
Well, they look like they had Middleton looked like he had some escort going around the left side. Everybody pulled. Watch this. Here comes Middleton around the left side. And 29, Phil Wise makes a great defensive play here. It looks like he beat the block on the inside and a shoestring tackle. 4th down. Big play by the Viking defense.
David Beverly's in punt formation. Kevin Miller has dropped back to receive the punt for the Minnesota Vikings. Beverly punting from his own end zone about midway back. Penalty markers thrown. Kevin Miller drops the ball. Recovers at the 36-yard line. There are markers to be checked out.
Uh-oh. Oh, a drastic mistake for the Vikings here. They've got the football, 1st and 10 at their own 36. But the offense is coming back in for Green Bay, so let's check out the penalty, Lindsey.
Holding penalty indicated against the Vikings. There's the preliminary signal given by Gordon McCarter. You step it off and then explain it. Bud Grant is an interested spectator as well.
Calm, cool, dedicated, and respected. Bud Grant. Now I don't know. I tell you, this year I wouldn't dare try to second guess any referee. They've had a year they'll never forget.
This is what they call a post-possession foul, I think, and it causes some problems. We'll get an explanation from Gordon McCarter. It's at the 46-yard line.
Holding, number 25 on the receivers while the kick was in the air. This is a post-possession foul. The receivers retain the ball. First down to the penalty.
Receivers retain the ball. Nate Allen was the man who was detected. They retained the ball, and the penalty mark's off. It's 1st and 10 now at the 46-yard line.
25-yard punt. My man Lindsey right on top of it. Post-possession foul.
Tarkenton now setting up again. Well, it could not be held by Ricky Young. Ricky Young, who leads the entire NFC in receptions with 68. could not hang on. He's approaching the Viking record of 73 set in 1975 by Chuck Foreman.
He'll break that.
2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line. The Vikings are leading 3-0. Of
course, Chuck did it in, what, a 14-game season?
Right. There go your backs. Tarkenton. Young. Ricky Young to the 36.
That's what I was talking about, Lindsay. They get in that split backfield, and the primary receivers are your backs. They go out and they work on the linebackers, and then if everything's covered, then Fran looks downfield. Watch right here. He works on the linebacker. It's almost impossible to cover one of those backs man-to-man like that. The 4-3 defense just not set up for it. John Anderson finally on the stop, and it's close.
They're going to measure for the possible first down. Fran Tarkenton's over there taking a look along with Gordon McCarter as a representative of the Vikings, apparently. They're sighting it. They haven't decided to measure. They're going to sight it, and they've convinced Tarkenton it's short. They got the 3 tight end alignment in there now. They got on a 3rd down.
Good position here for a play-action pass, Lindsay. Tarkenton, I wouldn't put it past him. Of course, normally they give it to Foreman, let him dive over the top. They got a formation left.
Foreman, 1st and 10. Mike McCoy hanging on. It is inside the 35-yard line. At the 34-yard line. We have 9 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the first half, and Minnesota Vikings are leading 3-0. Chuck Foreman. Not much with Ezra Johnson there on the tackle.
Good reaction by the defensive right end, Ezra Johnson. Boy, he started the league in the first 7 or 8 games with about 14 or 15 sacks. They say he still has 15 sacks credited to his accomplishment this year.
Gain of a yard makes it 2nd down and 9. Rashad to the right side, Sammy White to the left side from Minnesota. Young and Foreman. Up to Ricky Young at the 30-yard line, and he's wrapped up there by Gary Weaver, number 52.
Carl Barzalauskas putting pressure on Fran.
Picked up 3 yards on the completion to make it 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Let's see if he goes back to Rashad. Rashad was open earlier on a 3rd down play on a turn-in.
Rashad's going out to the left set. Sammy White wide right. He looks for Rashad. Now he's scrambling left. Flips to one knee and throws, and it is intercepted at the 30-yard line by John Anderson. Anderson with the interception.
That interception is just as much the fault of the receivers as it is Fran Tarkenton here. Tarkenton moving around. Now the receivers aren't doing anything downfield to get open. Rashad is just standing there. Anderson.
My old buddy Jim was a great umpire. He was quick on his feet. He's got eyes like an eagle.
I'm still quick because I don't get filled up. I drink light beer from Miller. Light tastes great. It's less filling. It's got a... What's it say?
Here you go, Jim. Try those.
Oh, yeah. A 1/3 less calories than a regular beer. Hey, you're Boo Powell. Hey.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Americans have always had a love affair with the automobile. And of the more than 2,500 different cars introduced, one was the best-selling ever. This one, Ford Fairmont.
Presenting Fairmont 79. Designed for a changing world, with lots of room for the money.
A great EPA mileage estimate for today's driving, and a range of sticker prices that are surprisingly low. America has made Fairmont the best-selling new car ever introduced. Sedans, wagons, and the exciting Futura at your local Ford dealer.
Next Saturday, see Tom Weisskopf, Nancy Lopez, and other top touring pros in the Mixed Team Championship of Golf. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
We've got Rashad on an ISO here. Now, what I was talking about, now watch this. Now, Fran is in trouble back behind the line of scrimmage. He's just standing there. 29 is right there. Now he puts up his hand. He's really not open there, and he just made a move too late. You've got to try to find an open spot when your quarterback's in trouble.
1st and 10 Green Bay at the Packers 30-yard line. Artie Smith, the big fullback, across the 35-yard line. Stopped by Matt Blair. Picked up 5 on the play to make it 2nd down and 5 yards to go for the Packers. Lights are on here at Lambeau Field.
That was John Anderson's 5th interception on the year for the rookie linebacker out of Michigan.
Here come the Packers. David Whitehurst leads them up. Split the running backs. Artie Smith again to the 39-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 1 yard to go. James White from Oklahoma State made the stop.
Typical high-scoring game here at Green Bay for the Viking-Packer game. Headbanger.
Vikings are leading 3-0. 6 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the half. Rick McGeorge and Paul Kaufman in the double tight end alignment as the Packers look for a yard. And it is a 1st and 10 as Middleton picked it up at the 44-yard line. Iredell Middleton.
Just good blocking up front right there. He had a little daylight off the left side. Whitehurst will hand off the left side, left guard, left tackle to Turdell Middleton. He's got Barty Smith helping up front. A good block by Rich McGeorge there. Tackled by Phil Wise.
Packers keep their drive alive. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They send Lofton out to a wide left. Andre Thompson out to a wide right. Whitehurst to Lofton, incomplete.
Oh, he was open. There was your turn-in pattern. Threw it behind him. See, Lofton got those gloves I was talking about, Lindsey. The receivers.
Your playing days, how'd you stay warm in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
You didn't.
2nd down, 10 yards to go at the 44.
It's good weather for football right here, though.
Absolutely.
It doesn't bother the players that much at all. It's about 30 degrees.
Absolutely agree. Whitehurst. Over the middle and complete. Artie Smith to the 50. Big fullback is inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers.
Good determination by Smith to get the 1st down. Again, Whitehurst has got a lot of time to throw the football. He's looking downfield. Barty Smith just checks off on the right side. There it is. Now watch him make a move away from Matt Blair. Now, Matt Blair is a lot faster than Barty Smith. 12-yard pickup, 1st down for Green Bay.
Barty Smith has come off the field, and Jim Colbreth is in now at fullback. Lofton to the left side, Andre Thompson right. Colbreth from the right side, Middleton in the left. Thompson in motion across. Iredell Middleton. Just to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Mark Mullaney in there with Phil Wise to wrap him up. 2nd and 10 at the 44. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left in the half. Minnesota's leading by a score of 3-0. 19-yard field goal. Kicked early in the ball game. Here comes Lofton out to the wide left again, and Thompson right. Colbreth is still the fullback, loosened up a little right. Whitehurst. And it is completed to Middleton to the 35. Middleton to the 30. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Fred McNeil made the tackle.
A nice instinctive move here by Middleton, breaking back to the inside for the first down. Whitehurst. Fine young quarterback for the Packers. 16 yards on that last pass. Looking over for encouragement and an offensive play from Zeke Rakowski.
Ball is spotted outside the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the first half. A full house, of course, here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
They haven't sold a ticket here since 1959.
Nate Simpson's in there. Nate Simpson's got the ball. Picked up at most a yard. Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker, came in to make the stop. Second down and 9 yards to go. Incomplete. Lofton again the intended receiver. Tom Hannon covering. 3rd and 9 at the 28-yard line. Lofton came into this game with 33 receptions and 5 touchdowns. Fine rookie from Stanford. Whitehurst has got the information from the sideline. Calls the play in the huddle now. 3rd and 9. Simpson and Barty Smith. Whitehurst throwing to Lofton, and he's got it. Lofton will stop inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal at the 3. Bobby Bryant made the saving tackle for Minnesota.
And he had James Lofton, Bobby Bryant, man-to-man coverage, a 24-yard pickup, and Bobby Bryant with the shoestring tackle saves 6. Right here, Lofton does a little turnout, and it looked as if Bobby slipped down, but he recovers to save a touchdown.
So now it's 1st down and goal to go at the 3-yard line. Double tight end alignment for the Green Bay Packers. We are getting to the 2-minute warning, and there it is. There is the 2-minute warning. So, with the automatic timeout coming now, we have 2 minutes left to play in the half. The Minnesota Vikings 3-0, but the Pack is threatening.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find this near your home.
Oh, hi, it's me again, posting and pasting more posters. This time it's for the first annual Delco battery sale. AC Delco is making it possible for you to buy a Freedom battery at a special sale price.
Thanks, Delco.
Wherever you see this poster, look for it in your neighborhood for a great price on a battery you can trust. Thanks, Delco. Well, you'll be saying thanks, Delco, too.
Such a simple miracle. In every glass of Gallo Premium wine, like Hearty Burgundy, you can see the sun because Gallo cares. In every glass, you can see the good earth because Gallo cares. In every glass, the round and lovely grape because Gallo cares. You can see and taste the care that Ernest and Giulio Gallo take. Go with the good wine. Go with Gallo Hearty Burgundy.
At the 3-yard line. Whitehurst getting the play there along the sideline before coming out onto the field now to join the huddle. He's 6 for 9, 65 yards so far here in the first half. The Minnesota Vikings are leading 3-0. The Packers are making their first serious bid of the day.
Won't be anything fancy here.
Barty Smith, Turdell Middleton right there, the running backs. Here come the Packers. Middleton drives to the 1-yard line. Turdell Middleton to the 1-yard line. 2nd down and goal to go.
They love to use that big number 33 as a blocker. Barty Smith, 6'4", 245 pounds. And Middleton usually follows him.
2nd down, goal to go at the 1:35 and running. Middleton and Barty Smith are the setbacks for Whitehurst. Middleton, touchdown! Touchdown for Turdell Middleton. the Green Bay Packers. So the Packers are on the scoreboard.
And this crowd here is going crazy. Middleton goes in for his 10th touchdown of the year, all by rushing. Middleton off the left side got in for the score, and the Packers, Chester Markle in for the extra point. He has not missed any of his extra point tries all year.
Bobby Douglas holding for Chester Markle. Douglas puts it down, Markle boots it up, and it's good. And so as they come back up the field, it is the Green Bay Packers 7, Minnesota Vikings 3, and we have 1 minute, 24 seconds remaining to be played in the first half here at Green Bay.
I'm a newsman. I've got to look good and feel comfortable every day. So I wear shirts made of natural blend fabric. 60% cotton for great cotton comfort. Sears calls them perma-pressed. No iron, they just tumble dry and look good all day. See, my wife will do anything for me.
Except iron his shirts.
When you're looking for comfort, look for the seal of cotton. The more cotton, the better you feel.
Ford introduces a new wagon for the American road. The all-new LTD Country Squire for $79. A new wagon with more driver convenience, more handling ease, more window area, and more passenger room than last year's Country Squire.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
The all-new Ford LTD Country Squire for $79. See it at your Ford dealer now.
NFL action begins next Sunday with the NFL Today, followed by a full slate of regional games. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
An onside. Why would they want to onside it? Why would they want an onside kick?
Rick Danmar's teeing it up at the 35, and Minnesota Vikings have moved 10 men up close with only Kevin Miller deep.
Why?
Well, I wonder myself, because I would not anticipate an onside kick attempt at this point, but that's the kind of defense you set up for one. Danmar boots it deep, and Kevin Miller retreats to the 5-yard line. He comes back to the 10, to the 15, tiptoes along the sideline to the 22, where he is bounced out of bounds.
And Lindsay, a great friend of mine, just stepped into the booth. My old former roomie here at the Green Bay Packers, Max McGee, who's living up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. What are you doing here?
Well, it's first big game the Packs had here since you left, so I thought I'd come down and help them out.
Right on cue, Max McGee came in on the scoring play.
That's right.
Well, I saw that Jimmy Lofton run down there, and you're talking about a guy that's going to be a great end. I think he'll probably break all my records.
Well, if he can play 3 or 4 years, he can make it.
Hasn't got your speed, Max. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Foreman, and he's pulled out. It was big Mike Butler who pulled him down with a one-hand grasp.
You know, Max, if the Packers could hold on and win this football game, you have to look back at the Vikings' first series. They had the opportunity right away. 1st and goal, and only come away with 3 points.
Well, that's right. Momentum is such a factor in a game like this, and the Vikings had 2 big opportunities, and one of which Tarkenton threw an interception. But when that momentum changed, you can look for Green Bay to be in this game right to the end.
I'll tell you one thing, Lindsay, while we're waiting. Max McGee, I'll say this unquestionably, is the best clutch poker and gin player I've ever played with.
Packers take timeout.
Well, just for that, I'm not going to.
For those parents who realize that $600 isn't too much to spend to expand their child's world, Radio Shack has the perfect gift. TRS-80 computer, the most significant investment a parent can make. Programs for your child's education or your business, finance, and home use. Let your children discover tomorrow's technology today. The TRS-80, the biggest name in little computers. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Introducing Hertz takeoff rates. Save up to 35% on the average weekday rental when you take off Thursday through Sunday for a minimum of 2 to 3 days. Take off in a subcompact for only $13.95 a day. Fairmont's $15.95. Granada $17.95. Thunderbirds $21.95 a day. all with no charge for mileage. There are some restrictions, so check with Hertz. Take off next weekend with Hertz low takeoff rates.
Minnesota Vikings have the ball, 2nd and 13 at the 19-yard line. I think we said when Marco kicked off, it was Danmark. It was, of course, just Marco who executed the kickoff for the Green Bay Packers. Young, and he gets to the 23-yard line. Carl Barzalowska straps him up there.
First time all year Tarkenton has been held without a first down passing in the first half. The Vikings do not have a first down throwing the football all the first half.
Well, I don't think the Vikings are getting the protection they're used to.
CBS Sports Spectacular is coming up next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have the Professional Karate Association Welterweight Championship.
That's Steve Shepard and Eddie Hard. Boy, what a match that'll be.
And then the next event will be the World's Strongest Men competition.
And that's a tram pull. I guess they pull a cable car up the hill in San Francisco or something.
That's all next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS.
Well, Matt, you've been in Minnesota all year long watching the Vikings, and Tarkenton's been throwing the football, but I think you're right. The pass protection has not been good here for the Vikings.
I think that, of course, number one, I think Green Bay is playing as good today as they're better than they played in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and you've seen them more than I have, but I'm impressed with their rush today. They haven't been rushing the passer, and they've had Tarkenton chased out of there all day.
Right. 3rd and 9 as Tarkenton brings them up. This is Young. Ricky Young. Just across the 30-yard line. Mike Hunt.
It's going to be short.
It is short.
And the Packers call a quick timeout. Smart play. Let's see if they try to block the punt.
35 seconds on the clock.
Might be trying to block the punt here or set up a return. I think that's smart. I think we see so many teams all the time in the last minute of the first half, they just let it run out when possibly, you know, you've got a shot. It's a long shot, block punt or a long pass, but you might as well take it.
Greg Coleman's in to do the punting, and Johnny Gray already has dropped back to receive the punt for the Green Bay Packers. Knowing that both Max McGee and Paul Hornung were in town last night, Green Bay had a voluntary curfew at an early hour.
I'll tell you one thing, I was in bed early, I'll tell you that. I know Max wasn't. He's got a 90-foot limousine with a chauffeur. Now that's really strong, come back to Green Bay with it.
It's fun to go bar hopping, though.
3rd down and 9 yards to go. Coleman puts it up. Johnny Gray at his 27, at the Green Bay 30, 35. Side slips to the 39-yard line. Mark Keller downfield to make the tackle. A 42-yard punt.
Now here's where I like to see him put it up. Just go ahead and throw it. Might get that interference call.
25 seconds on the clock. 1st and 10 for the Packers at the 39-yard line. Packers are leading by a score of 7-3. As we approach the halftime intermission, we invite you to stay tuned during halftime. We'll bring you up to date on all the activity in the NFL. Incomplete. 19 seconds left on the clock, 2nd and 10. Brent, Chain, and Irv will be bringing you scores and highlights during the halftime. 2nd down and 10 at the 39-yard line. Second down play coming up. These two teams started the day tied for the top spot in the Central Division. Identical records of 7 wins and 5 losses each. By the draw. Breath is brought down at the 43-yard line. Middleton it was, I beg your pardon. Turdell Middleton. He comes off the field. Stotzi. And 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's it. Time has run out, and so at the end of the first half, the Green Bay Packers go off the field with a 7-3 lead. Minnesota Vikings scored first on a 19-yard field goal, and then the Green Bay Packers came back and scored late, driving down the field and leave the field with a margin of 7-3 out in front in this ball game with another big half to be played here on a crisp football afternoon in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
It's lightweight, it's portable, it's virtually indestructible. You can hammer on it, saw on it, sand on it, paint on it, drive a screw on it, cut a pipe on it, clean a door on it, fix a picture on it, or a wheelbarrow, or a chair, or a bicycle. You can even have your lunch on it. The incredible Black & Decker workmate. When America has a job to do, it reaches for Black & Decker.
You know, for too long now, bowlers have been left out of light beer commercials, and football players have been grabbing all the glory. But bowlers know light beer from Miller tastes great. We know light's got a third less calories than the regular beer. We know light's less filling. Bowlers love light just as much as football players. That's right. And we also love the easy opening can. You sure do.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
You can tell by their style and flair. They're now. And you can tell by the way they're getting there. They're now. The Futura is now.
There's a distinctive personal car for now. The 79 Futura with tomorrow's look right now. Space efficiency for now. High mileage ratings that are now. And a sticker price that says, why wait?
The future isn't someday, it's now.
The Futura is now.
Fairmont Futura at your Ford dealers.
Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular. World welterweight full contact karate champion Steve Shepard defends his title against former champion Ernie Hart. You'll also see Challenge 8 in the world's strongest men competition. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
It's halftime here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the Packers are leading the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 7-3, but Paul Hornung, it's only halftime, which means we have a long way to go.
We sure do, and Lindsay, we've said this so many times that the Minnesota Vikings, when they're in a game like this that they have to win, the last 10 or 11 years, they just don't lose these kind of football games.
Well, that's very true. When they've had to win games, they've won them. Last Monday, most of the legends in the Hall of Fame gathered to dedicate a new wing, and Irv Cross thought it was a good time to talk to a few of them about pro football yesterday and today.
For the men enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, today's game differs radically from theirs of natural grass and deflated footballs and non-inflated salaries.
Well, everything moves faster because they're not playing as much time. They get rests in between so that they're traveling at a higher velocity. I don't think the game is any more interesting to the people now than it was then. I remember we played in 1929 at the Polo Grounds in New York and beat New York for the championship. And there were 50,000 people there at the game, and they were just as excited then as they are now.
Pro football in the 1970s was polished and slick, but there was a time when the sport was fashioned of canvas and leather, and men played for pennies instead of dollars. These old-timers were as tough as the anthracite coal they mined, but few weighed over 200 pounds or measured up to today's standards.
You see these big necks now on the linemen. We never had that. And the days when I was playing 60 minutes with the Giants, our average all-pro lineman weighed, say, like about 210, 15 pounds. And now that weight can't play in the line in professional football.
In my day, you were in for 60 minutes, and if you were taken out of a game in those days, you'd want to fight the coach because it meant you were playing bad football. We did not have face masks. I think the greatest identity to any football player in my day, he'd take his two front teeth out. That proves he is a football player.
Red Grange, the Wheaton Iceman, the Galloping Ghost, was the greatest player of his day, and thousands came to see him transform pro football into a major league sport. He once played 8 games in 11 days, for in his time, the coaches, not the players, ruled pro football.
If he'd say, go and jump off that roof, If it's 3 stories high, you would go and jump off the roof. You wouldn't say, Coach, why do I have to do this? I have not seen a new football play, though, Irv, since I was in high school.
You mean after all these
That's
years,
right.
there's nothing new?
No, I think there's only so many things you can do with 11 men.
Johnny Blood, Mel Hine, and Red Grange. Men in old leather. A style and a time that has gone forever.
We now pause for a word from your local station.
Archie is caught on the horns of a dilemma when the other woman from his past really needs his help. Janice Page guest stars on All in the Family tonight at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on CBS.
Okay, back live in New York. I'm Brent Musburger. The Los Angeles Rams are going to be 10-3 after today. The Cleveland Browns have dominated them all game long, 24-9. Still in the third, the Browns over the Rams, and of course Dallas keeping an eye on that game. New Orleans upsetting Atlanta in Atlanta. And of course the Falcons won that miracle game a few weeks ago. The Saints seeking revenge and the Falcons seeking a playoff spot. Buffalo leading the Giants 21-17. They went ahead just moments ago in that game. Brown on a sweep. It's in the fourth quarter. The Jets and Miami beat up last Monday night by Houston. Bob Greasy has been intercepted 3 times. He now is out 24-6 in the fourth. The Jets are going to win. Minnesota and Green Bay, the game you're watching, Packers leading at 7-3 at the half. Philadelphia and St. Louis, the Eagles now have got a good chance to get a wild card spot. They lead the Cardinals 7-3. That game is at half. Tampa Bay and Chicago should just about be beginning the third quarter. We just released them. It's 3-0, the Buccaneers. And San Diego and Kansas City. Still, Irv, impossible for me to figure out the Chargers. They got a lot of talent on that football team, and they're down right now by 17 points. Now let's take a look at some of the highlights, Irv. I guess Mike Pearl, our producer, says, I've got the first package, and Mike says, let's go to Los Angeles. All right, Michael, let's get there indeed. Let's watch Pat Hayden now as he throws the screen on this first play outside to Willie Miller right here. This is how the Browns have played on defense. They move up, Ambrose with the hit, Mitchell with the recovery. Brian Sipe, been under fire in Cleveland. Here he is responding, but he gets a lot of help from a rookie by the name of Ozzie Newsome. Remember that number, 82, because watch the next sequence. Shepard, the guard, gets out in front. Jack Reynolds, the middle linebacker, couldn't get over in time, and he scores. Now, watch Lawrence McCutcheon's right leg. It's hard to believe that he didn't tear more than a hamstring on that. Look at how he's bent over completely. Sidelined at least for 1 game, and who knows with a hamstring. That can be very, very troublesome. John Cappelletti, underrated for the Rams this year. Good power run down to the 2-yard line. Here's how the Browns have played, though. They were even able to block Frank Corral. Big, tall Edwards got in on it. He's 6'7". That's why George Allen wanted to hire Wilt Chamberlain once, was to block field goals like that. Now watch the other Pruitt, Mike Pruitt. Straight ahead, drive blocking, in behind the right guard, gets in against the Rams. A lot of desire on the Browns' part. The Rams have not played with much verve. After all, they've got the West wrapped up, but Dallas closing in. Rucker had it long enough, and that was a touchdown sequence right there for the Browns. Herb?
Brent, in Atlanta, the New Orleans Saints lead the Atlanta Falcons in the third quarter by a score of 17-10. Keep in mind that 9 games in Atlanta, the Saints have only beaten the Falcons there once. And of course, New Orleans came in today with a revenge motive in mind. But here's Steve Bartkowski for Atlanta going to work, hitting Bubba Bean on a nice pass here, setting up a scoring opportunity for halfback Haskell Standback from the 3, and they take a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. But Archie Manning got the Saints on the board when he fakes a play-action pass here and hits on the backside number 87 Larry Hardy. He goes 71 yards, and the score is all knotted at that point. Manning handing off on the ground this time to Chuck Muncie. He goes 28 yards up the middle, his longest scoring run TD of the year, and New Orleans takes a 17-10 lead in the third quarter.
Have you said the Saints have only won one game down in Atlanta?
1 out of 9 games in Atlanta.
I didn't realize that. Yeah. Okay, now let's turn our attention to the Giants and the Buffalo Bills. The Giants, of course, trying to snap back. John McVay announced that he would call all the plays. You know the reason why. His offensive coordinator fired, actually a scapegoat. Here's Pisarcik going now to Dixon, down to the Bills' 38-yard line with this sequence. This is all in the second half of the game. Pisarcik hits quickly now to Kodar, and the Giants led it 17-7, had the game under control. But then, watch Roland Hooks here. Dance inside, hard to believe he's still on his feet. And he broke away from the Giants at that moment. Just an incredible run by Roland Hooks. And the Bills were back in business. That's one of the finest runs of the year. There's Hooks scoring, and then they went up, and 21-17 is the count in that game late in the fourth quarter. And we've also got Minnesota-Green Bay, of course, the contest you're watching. The weather not too bad in Green Bay. As a matter of fact, football weather this year has been absolutely magnificent. A bit chilly. There you can see the time remaining. Tarkenton pulling out, and he can still scramble, can he, and buy time. Look at him run back and forth, and those linemen just keep working even from one knee. But it was intercepted that time by John Anderson. Now here's Whitehurst. Passing towards the left, Lofton to the Minnesota 3. Boy, what a fine group of rookies we've got. And let's send you right back now to Lindsey Nelson.
Leonardo da Vinci for Spidell watches.
They call me the greatest inventor ever, next to Tom Edison. But even I never dreamed of this beautiful Spidell chronograph. It gives me the time and date, but also 4 stopwatch functions. Great gift, Mona. Very inventive. Say, you have a beautiful Spidell digital, too.
Edison gave it to me.
Spidell's beautiful new digitals. Very inventive gifts.
You don't have to lose sleep worrying about that drive to work tomorrow. Not when you've got Firestone Snowbiters going with you. To dig you out and pull you through, they've got 2 sets of deep-biting teeth. And in between, traction bars for quiet running and long mileage. In radials, bias, or retreads, they'll put teeth in your winter driving. Firestone Town & Country Snowbiters. Pleasant dreams.
15 years ago, I thought I had it made. I was an all-pro linebacker with the Rams. My wife had just presented me with a beautiful new baby girl. I had a great off-season job. Then I found out I had cancer, and I thought my world had come to an end. But I was wrong. My life was just beginning. Early detection and treatment meant recovery for me. And here's the secret. No cancer 7 warning signals. My wife knew them then and loved me enough to get me right to my doctor. Here's what to watch for. No, they're not pretty, but life sure is. The National Football League and the American Cancer Society are united in the fight against cancer. NFL teams contribute generously to cancer research through NFL charities. We ask you to join us in supporting the American Cancer Society.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service for the National Football League. It's halftime here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the Green Bay Packers are leading the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 7-3. And here are the stats for the first half, Paul Hornung.
And I think the most impressive statistics, if you look at it, as far as Fran Tarkenton is concerned, Lindsey, he started off with 254 completions. He only has completed 4 out of 11. But the Vikings have yet to make a first down throwing the football, and that is the first time all year long that any team has held Fran at bay for a half.
27 yards passing for the Minnesota Vikings the first half, as opposed to 54 for Green Bay. Tarkenton 4 for 11 and 2 interceptions. Whitehurst 6 for 10 and no interceptions.
Running the football, well, not two teams not doing too well running the football either, but Foreman, the leading rusher in the football game, 37 yards on 12 carries. Middleton picked up 27 on 12 carries, and Barty Smith 20 yards on 5 carries.
As far as offensive plays are concerned, all even. 31 each offensive plays in the first half.
Well, this is exactly the way the game figured to go, even though Vikings were maybe a field goal favorite. Both teams 7-5, Lindsey, and this is a very important game. And I guess you'd have to say that the team that wins this is almost an odds-on favorite to represent the NFC Central in the playoffs.
Bud Grant, head coach who has won in the Central Division 9 times in the last 10 years. There with the Minnesota Vikings as they go into their huddle. As a matter of fact, Bud Grant has 114 wins in the NFL and 102 in Canada to give him 216 professional wins. There are the Green Bay Packers, coached by Bart Starr. Great Hall of Famer here, a great quarterback during his playing days at Green Bay.
Well, what a win it would be. The young Packers. The Vikings have beaten the Packers, what, 10 out of the last 11 times. And I keep saying, Lindsey, you know, I worked with the Minnesota Vikings for 5 years, and of course they were a great football team and could well be at the end of the year even still. But I have yet to see them lose a game like this when the pressure's on and they needed the big win. What, 5 or 6 weeks ago, the Packers had a shot to really put the Vikings out of it then. October 22nd up in Minneapolis, the Vikings won a big one, 21-7, and got right back into the race.
So now it's been teed up by Rick Danmar. Andre Thompson is center deep. Sailed over, and it's going to go across the sideline marker. Penalty marker, of course, for the kickoff having gone out of bounds. It'll be brought back and kicked from the 30. It was over to Estes Hood's side of the field. Estes is over there on the far side. Talks to Andre Thompson now, who deploys center deep.
Well, a 5-yard penalty probably will enable Green Bay to have good field position here, start off their offensive series in the second half.
So again, Danmar awaits the whistle, and there it is. Andre Thompson takes it in flight at the 22 to the 25. Reverse play. And it is brought up to the 35. Ezra Johnson carrying a defensive end, carrying the football.
You won't see that in the National Football League. That's what great respect the Green Bay Packers have for Ezra Johnson. There he is, a defensive end on the end around. Look at him smile. It didn't fool the Vikings. They were set up for it. And Ezra Johnson, the only defensive end in the National Football League that I can remember was used on the end around.
A reverse on the kickoff into the bargain. It's 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Daredell Middle and Barty Smith are the running backs for David Whitehurst. Daredell Middleton slashes through to the 40-yard line for 4. Jeff Seaman made the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now for the Packers.
Some quick scores. Cleveland's killing LA 30-12, and the Jets are surprising Miami 24-6. Looks like there's a lot of upsets in the making today.
We're at that time of year. Here comes Whitehurst for the Packers once again now. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Andre Thompson in motion across. Middleton. But he's in traffic, and he's pulled down from behind at the 38-yard line. Fred McNeil made the stop, a loss of 2. Make it 3rd down and 8. Packer fan? I'm a Packer fan. I'll say he is.
He's not cold at all either, I'll tell you that.
He wouldn't get cold no matter how low the
face is painted green, the whole bit.
3rd and 8. Whitehurst. Andre Thompson, the intended receiver. It's an incompleted pass. Matt Blair was there.
Whitehurst was leveled, I think, by Carl Eller, causing the flutter on the football. Watch this. From behind the quarterback, here's Whitehurst, setting up real quick, and he was hit just as his arm was in motion. Incomplete.
David Beverly has come in to punt the ball now, and Kevin Miller's dropped back to field it.
them, the Vikings are going to try to block it.
Hey, that's Wilson out there. Penalty markers. Kevin Miller takes it at the 30. And he is spilled at the 28-yard line, but there's a marker to be checked out. Johnny Gray downfield.
There was movement on the left side of the Packer defense. Also, there was movement for the Green Bay Packers on the right side. So let's check it out now. Looked like the defensive guy got back in time, but
so the discussion continues before the enforcement.
They were thinking about field position. The ball's marked about the 27-yard line.
Illegal procedure against the Green Bay Packers.
Let's see if we can pick it up. Now, it's going to happen at the top of your screen. Watch. There he jumps off sides, and that pulls the offensive guy to move. Now, he got back in time, and it's going to be a penalty against the Pack. Mike Douglas was the gentleman who moved. They're going to take the penalty.
5 yards. Well, he doesn't have his microphone turned on.
He forgot to punch the button.
That's just what he did. Still 4th down, of course, and Beverly's still in to do the punting, and Kevin Miller still deep to field it for the Minnesota Vikings. Beverly waiting, gets the snap. Kevin Miller, it hits at the 35, but takes a Viking bounce, and it is down at the 36.
They gain 9 yards on the penalty.
So when play is resumed, the Minnesota Vikings will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 36. Green Bay leading by a score of 7-3.
All the guys that do commercials for light beer from Miller are big stars and guys like that. Me, I'm just a humble bartender, but I drink light too, and I'll tell you why. It's less filling, it's got a 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great.
Jerry, now that you're a big star, can I have your autograph?
Well, sure, Mr. Dangerfield.
Hey, would you like mine?
Not really.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
How about my initials?
Look, out on the road. It's a car. It's a Fiesta.
It's Wundercar, Ford Fiesta from Germany. With front-wheel drive and Michelin steel-belted radials for sure-footed traction. Fiesta, Wundercar, with responsive acceleration that's quick to the rescue. Fiesta, Wundercar, ready to go long distances on a gallon of gas. Wundercar, disguised as a Fiesta.
I like it, Clark.
So do I, Lois, at your Ford dealer.
Sir, your cape is showing.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the World Welterweight Full Contact Karate Championship and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Ball on the 36, 1st down. This is Lindsey Nelson with Paul Hornung in Green Bay, Wisconsin. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 36-yard line. Fran Tarkenton has the ball, handing it off to Ricky Young. That's inside a Foreman block and moves to the 43-yard line before Mike Hunt brings him down. Picked up about 7 to make it 2nd and 3. The attendance this afternoon at Lambeau Field, 51,737.
Well, there's a few no-shows up here, and even though this game is as big as it is, Lindsey, you get a shot around the stadium, you see all those orange jackets right there. Orange and red. It is deer season up here. They've got 200,000 hunters up here in northern Wisconsin looking for deer.
You mind if I walk a little behind you in that coat?
I'm not going close to any wooded area.
Pitch to Foreman, and Foreman is stopped at the 45-yard line. Little bowler.
Be a little bit short.
They're going to measure for the possible 1st down as he spotted it across the 45.
Well, here's another upset in the making. San Diego getting swamped by Kansas City, 20-0, 3rd quarter.
And as Paul said, it's a little short. 3rd and inches.
love it here, don't they? A little tailgate party goes on here. I tell you, Minnesota and Green Bay, the two most popular cities in the National Football League, with those tailgate parties. They come in here loaded for bear, don't they?
Sometimes barbecued bear.
Sometimes loaded, too.
Third down play. Foreman. He went up. It'll be spotted, I think, up far enough for it to be a first down.
Let's watch Ezra Johnson now down the right side. Watch him crash to the inside, fights off the block, and he's got Chuck. He's got a piece of him. Judgment call on the part of the referee. See where the forward motion stopped.
And the Minnesota Viking is down, and this is an injury timeout. A Viking injury.
It'll be charged against them in their timeouts. That's first down.
First and 10.
Let's take a look. End zone shot here. Here comes Chuck. Up. There's Ezra Johnson right there. First down, Vikings.
Players are zoned first and 10 at the 46-yard line for the Minnesota Vikings in their own territory.
Now you look through here and you squeeze, okay? Hurry up. Now just drop it in and come over here. This is Polavision, Polaroid's instant movies. Can you imagine how this would go over at your house?
Extra, extra. Read all about me. New mobile super unleaded gasoline.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, I got higher octane.
It's in all the papers, boss.
I mean, I fight NOx. I fight pings. And I'm so great, I'm also replacing Mobile Premium. Paper, sir? Extra, extra. Read all about me.
Mobile Super Unleaded Gasoline.
Dennis Swilley was the man shaking up 67. Charles Goodrum, 68, shaking up earliest, moving around with his helmet on. Jim Huff is playing that guard right now. First and 10 for the Vikings at the 46-yard line. Somebody beat the snap. Penalty markers everywhere. Ricky Young.
With 61, Dennis Swilley, the right guard, who's filling in one of the guard spots for the injured Charles Goodrum.
Jets in Miami. The Jets are leading 24-13. A motion penalty against the Minnesota Vikings is indicated.
Well, there's not much time in that one left. It looks like the Jets got an easy victory. 1:22 left in the fourth quarter. I thought Halloween was a little earlier.
Motion penalty has been declined as the ball is spotted at the 43-yard line. For a loss of 3, the down counts accordingly, so it's second down and 13 yards to go. Ricky Young wanting to cut back. And he is wrapped up at the 46 by Gary Weaver and Mike Hunt. So it'll be third down and 10 yards to go.
Three-yard run by Walter Payton. Third quarter, the Bears lead Tampa 7-3.
Here comes Washington into the ball game now. Harry Washington, a rookie wide receiver from Colorado State, and therefore the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, the Packer defense today has just been outstanding. The Viking offense in the first and second down, they've been running the football, Lindsay. Normally they throw a lot.
Third down and 10 yards to go. Washington and White a double to the left side. Ryshaw to the right side. Penalty markers thrown. Whistle stops play.
The 30-second clock here at Lambeau Field is not working. So the official time on the 30-second clock is kept on the field. That time frame took a little too much time. got a report on Charles Goodrum, the starting left guard. There's the 30-second clock, and you see it's not working. Charles Goodrum's got a Charlie horse, probably will not see any action.
Almost back to the 42-yard line. But it's 3rd and 14. Again, they double Washington, and White to the left side, and Fran Tarkenton retreats. And he throws, and it's incomplete. The defender was Mike McCoy. Harry Washington, the intended receiver. 4th and 14, and the hand is for the Green Bay Packer defense coming off the field.
Good coverage that time by Mike McCoy. Flag was not thrown. Harry Washington, I think, Lindsay looked around as if to say, where's the flag? But no pass interference.
Greg Coleman is coming to do the punting, and Johnny Gray has dropped back now for the Green Bay Packers. Coleman standing back there at his own 27-yard line. Short hop. Got it off, and Johnny Gray lets it go at the 30. Takes a Viking bounce. It's inside the 20, 15, 14. Settles there at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers at that point.
Boy, I tell you, Greg Coleman gets killed here by 43 Andre Thompson. Now, if you're wondering why this is not roughing the kicker, well, of course, it was a good acting job anyway.
The Stevens estate. The $20,000 Mercedes looks right at home.
So does the $5,000 Granada Ghia, sometimes mistaken for a Mercedes. It's an American classic.
Meredith Manor. Mercedes styling looks at home.
And Granada's does too.
Hamilton House. Mercedes classic styling.
Granada's classic styling. And the Granada price makes it right at home at any home. The '79 Ford Granada at your Ford dealer.
By the time this day is done, you'll turn a mountain of canvas and a truckload of living dynamite into one of the world's oldest fantasies, the circus. Now comes Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
Next Saturday, see Tom Weiskopf, Nancy Lopez, and other top touring pros in the Mixed Team Championship of Golf. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Bart Starr, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, looks on. 1st and 10 for the Pack. They have the ball at their own 14-yard line. David Whitehurst brings them up. Running backs are well split. Middleton is carrying out to the 17-yard line before Jeff Seaman brings him down. A gain of 3 will make it 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
That's the final. The Jets over Miami. Matt Robinson, a fine young quarterback who took over for Richard Todd earlier in the year when he was hurt. He's done his thing again. Lindsay threw a couple touchdown passes.
Walt Michaels has done one of the real outstanding coaching jobs in this league.
He sure has. That team can score. Very explosive.
Marty Smith out across the 20 to the 22. Phil Wise on the tackle.
Well, we said this was going to be a headbanger. This is a typical old black and blue division game, Lindsay. I tell you, that offensive line and defensive line, they're just knocking heads. Here it is. There's Jeff Seaman right there. Plays off the center block. McCarron firing off the football. Phil Wise, the safety man, on the stop.
3rd down and 2 yards to go for the Green Bay Packers at their own 22. Middleton. Now, did he make it or didn't he? They'll spot the ball and take the look. It is very close, either way.
All depends on where that zebra puts the football.
That's exactly what it depends on. Gonna bring out the chain. So it's either 4th down or it's 1st down. It's 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers. at the 24-yard line. We have 9 minutes left to play in the third quarter. The Packers are leading by a score of 7-3. Middleton moves over to the right set. Middleton. He was corralled.
Fred McNeil.
Loss of a yard on the play, so it'll be second down and 11 yards to go. Lofton's in a wide left. Andre Thompson in a wide right. Fumble! And Vikings recover at the 21-yard line. James White's on the ball. Middleton fumbled the ball. James White recovered, first and 10 Vikings at the Packers' 21-yard line.
The 3-year veteran from Oklahoma State, very alertly here, pounces on the football. He takes his inside charge here. There's Barty Smith out front. Watch Seaman diagnose the play. Plays off the guard, 57. Go for it. Now the ball's free. Just a mix-up on the hands. Comes right. Look at James White. Give me that ball.
Foreman lunges up to the 17-yard line. John Anderson made the tackle. A gain of 4 will make it second down and 6.
Well, this is an opportunity that Minnesota Vikings must cash in, Lindsey. As I said in the first half, in the first series of plays, they got the football first and goal on the 9-yard line, and they came away with only 3 points.
Second and 6, and they have the ball at the Green Bay 17-yard line. Lone setback is Foreman, and Foreman gets the ball. And he's pulled down by Dave Roller.
From behind. Pursuing on the play, the quickness of Dave Roller, the 5-year veteran from Kentucky. A big defensive play that time because Chuck Foreman, Lindsey, had some daylight in front of him.
Third down and 4 yards to go at the Green Bay 15. Roller 6 feet 2 inches tall, 270-pounder, number 74. Packers deploy the defense against the 3rd and 4 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Now watch the offensive backs for the Vikings. When they flare out, they'll work on the linebackers, and they'll be the primary receivers. There they go.
Targeted. And it's batted, and it's incomplete. Mike Butler batted it down. Big Mike Butler, 6 feet 5 inches tall, got up there and got a big hand in front of it, and so the field goal unit comes on.
End zone shot of Fran. That's exactly what they tried. Both backs swinging out of the backfield. They're working on the linebackers right here, and watch number 77. The ball released by Fran right there, and he sticks his big paw, 6'5", as Lindsey said. And you see Ricky Young was open to the outside.
A 32-yard field goal attempt for Dan Meyer, who had a 19-yarder earlier. Kraus puts it down. Dan Meyer boots it up. 32-yard is no good. It is no good. And so it goes and play first and 10 at the 20-yard line.
He didn't swallow the olive, did he?
My. Score remains 7-3.
What comes out of a loudspeaker is only as impressive as what goes into it. Pioneer's HPM speakers have a unique super tweeter that breathes to produce incredible highs. Its driver delivers remarkably crisp mid-range. Its bass you not only hear, but feel. So instead of sounding great on part of the music, HPM speakers sound great on all of it. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
Not again. You okay?
Oh, I was running to rent a car, and this man was tying his shoelace, and just as I was about to jump over him, he stood up.
If you had an Avis Wizard number and a reservation, you could walk through airports. Just show your credit card, license, sign, and get your car.
Oh, good, let's go.
Avis, walk.
I'm walking through airports.
Avis now features GM cars.
Avis, we don't know another way.
Well, she's ready for something. And we're ready with 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers at their own 20-yard line, and they're still leading.
Oh, big break for the Packers.
Twice they have given the ball to the Vikings inside the 20, and the Vikings have been able to cash in only 3 points as a result. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Middleton moves over to a left set. Artie Smith to the 23-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Seaman, James White on the tackle. Clock is running with 6 minutes, 33 seconds remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter. Bud Grant, squarely in the center of your picture there, hands thrust deeply down into his pockets. Lofton far to the left side, Andre Thompson to the right side on a 2nd and 7. Thompson in motion across. Middleton up to the 28-yard line. Picked up 5, it'll be 3rd and 2. Carl Eller came in to make the tackle.
The kid runs hard. Carl Eller, the games that we've seen, they just played outstanding defensive football once he got back into the lineup. Had a little contractual problems earlier in the season.
3rd and 2. Before the crowd rise to the occasion of the 3rd down. Artie Smith, the up back. Turdell Middleton is the tailback in the I formation. Middleton didn't get it. Not at all, because Fred McNeil was there.
Oh, I made a great play too, Lindsey. He slid off the block to the inside and made the tackle.
So the punting unit comes on, led out there by David Beverly.
Knockdown, drag-out defensive battle here at Lambeau Field.
Beverly's punted 4 times and averaged 28 yards so far. Kevin Miller has dropped back to receive the punt. 5 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Kevin Miller at his 40, and that's it, at his 40. Downfield was Walter Tullis and had him on his shoulder.
Looked like he made a half-fair catch then.
Well, tomorrow night on CBS, some big shows coming up. For instance, can a former basketball star cut it with a bunch of streetwise kids? The exciting premiere of The White Shadow kicking off tomorrow night's top lineup.
Then stay tuned for MASH. Follow that one day at a time. And then Lou Grant tomorrow night on CBS.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Tarkenton dropping back. Ricky Young got 7 yards on the completed pass play at 2nd down and 3.
I think you're going to see a different Fran Tarkenton right now. That's, I think, to the best of my recollection, that's the first time he's thrown on 1st down in a long time in this football game. I think Fran's going to try to open it up now.
Here's a final score now. Buffalo defeated the Giants 41-17.
Oh, they just killed them. Terry Miller scored. 39-yard run. Ferguson, touchdown pass. Buffalo, big over the Giants.
2nd down and 3 yards to go. Vikings at their 47. Ricky Young. Fumble the ball as he got to the 50, and Green Bay recovers at the 49-yard line. The Packers have Young's football.
Young got tripped up, hit the ground, coughed up the football, and the boys in green, number 29, Mike McCoy on the recovery for Green Bay. There it is. Ricky Young off the left side. Chuck, I think, started a little bit too soon. John Anderson fought the block of Foreman on the inside, and Mike McCoy comes up with it for the Pack.
So now the Packers are leading by a score of 7-3, and they have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. 4 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Andre Thompson in motion back toward the inside. Whitehurst has the ball and pumps it out to Rich McGeorge. McGeorge is ridden out of bounds at the 31 or 2-yard line. It was Phil Wise there with Nate Wright.
His 2nd catch of the day. And the Packers had the right call called, Lindsey. They caught Minnesota in a blitz. Now watch, here comes Seaman to the left side on the blitz. Here comes Matt Blair, also a linebacker on the blitz. And David Whitehurst shows a lot of cool right here. Just stood right there. He knew he was going to be hit. And he got it off to his tight end, Rich McGeorge, for a 19-yard pickup. Phil Wise on the stop.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Packers are in Minnesota territory now. Just the battle for the top spot in the Central Division of the National Football Conference. Marty Smith, the fullback. Verdell Middleton, the tailback. Middleton. That's some blocking. Got to the 21-yard line. Jeff Seaman, number 50, bulldogging him there. He was trying to struggle to the sticks. They'll take a look now to see whether or not he made it.
A little bit short.
A little short, says Whitehurst.
Boy, what a block Barty Smith threw for Middleton. He leveled, I think it was the linebacker, McNeil.
They're going to run a double tight end. Paul Kaufman comes in now. It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard to go.
Hi, Mom. I wonder why none of the ball players ever say, hi, Dad. You ever see it? They always say, Mom. Of course, that's beautiful.
3rd down, less than a yard to go. Marty Smith, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. So it'll be the Packers retaining possession. First down. 2 minutes, 21 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Here comes Culbreth in there now, and Barty Smith's coming off for the Packers. Culbreth and Middleton. They double onto Thompson and Lofton to the left side. Onto Thompson and motion across. Culbreth almost missed the handoff. McNeil bulldogs him, but he struggled up there to the 17-yard line.
Just got 4 yards on his own, Lindsey.
This is an official's timeout for Darrell Goforth to come off. Goforth is coming off on the near sideline.
He got his bell rung a little bit. Leotis Harris checks in.
2nd down and 7 at the 17-yard line. Middleton, and he is through to the 6-yard line. Middleton to the 6-yard line, where it is 1st down and goal to go. Tom Hannon brought him down.
And this crowd is on its feet. Good running. Watch the blocking here. Center blocks right. Right guard pulls, gets the middle linebacker, gets a standoff, and Turdell Middleton on the inside cuts back to the right for the 1st down. The ball's just outside the 6.
1st down and goal to go. Middleton to tailback in the eye. Turdell Middleton. No gain. Cut down by Tom Hannon at the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal. 28 seconds remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter.
7 points would really put the pressure on. 3 points. Vikings are hoping for a field goal attempt in this situation. Boy, a 14-3 lead would look awful big right now for the Packers' chances of going on. Of course, they'll take a 1-game lead if whoever wins this football game, and they're really not a cinch. But the winner of this football game, Lindsey, would be in a pretty good position, wouldn't he?
Timeout, Green Bay Packers. Whitehurst going over to the sideline now with 4 seconds remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter. Whitehurst talking to Bradkowski. Tonight on CBS, you can spend the night with CBS, starting with 60 Minutes.
And then, of course, it's the all-time favorite, All in the Family, followed by Alice, Kaz, and Dallas.
That's all on CBS tonight. Right here, Bud Grant peering out onto the playing field.
That's Fran Tarkenton standing to the left of Bud Grant over there. You see the huddle. Whitehurst talking Zeke Bratkowski, Bart Starr right in the middle. John Maher.
The play is resumed. It is second down and goal to go. Packers have the ball at the 6-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. 4 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter, and the Packers are leading by a score of 7-3. Bart Starr and Bratkowski there talking to Whitehurst. So he has the play, and here he comes. Galbraith is the fullback. Middleton is the set back to the right side. Under Thompson in motion back. Middleton to the 1-yard line. It'll be third down and goal at the 1. Turdell Middleton carrying.
And a great tackle by Phil Wise. He had a big enough hole to score. He just got him around the ankles, Lindsey, and saved the touchdown. Watch this. Here comes Middleton off the left side.
So that's the end of the third quarter with the score. 7-3. You now pause for a word for your local station.
It might be easy for an enemy agent to infiltrate the MASH compound, but wait until he meets those madcap medics. Don't miss one of the funniest episodes of MASH tomorrow on CBS.
Hey, CBS, what's coming on?
Tuesday on the paper chase, the professor's daughter has a romance with Hart and threatens his career.
I feel terrific. Kingsfield's daughter. You don't fool around, do you?
Is there anything I can do?
It's too late for that.
It's your life that's messed up.
Tuesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
You're on.
As we start playing the fourth quarter, this is Lindsey Nelson with Paul Hornung. Green Bay is leading 7-3. The Packers have it third and goal at the 1-yard line. Double tight end alignment. Galbraith and Middleton the setbacks for Whitehurst. Middleton hits a stone wall of Minnesota Vikings and is thrown back.
Great defensive effort.
Mullaney led the defensive charge. Mark Mullaney. Fourth down coming up. Field goal units coming on.
Well, he lost a yard, Lindsey. That's why. He lost a yard on the play. You see the stack up right there. He is met by everybody in that defensive alignment for the Vikings. Now the ball's sitting at the just over the 2-yard line. So 4th and 2 to go for it there. It's a little, not too good a gamble.
It's going to be a 20-yarder, with Douglas holding for Marco. Just DeMarco will attempt it. Marco boots, and it's good. 20-yard field goal by Marco puts 3 more points on the board for the Green Bay Packers. And the score is now the Packers 10 and the Minnesota Vikings 3. So we have a quarter of football to go here now, with the Packers now in a 7-point advantage.
Introducing a new American road car. The all-new Ford LTD for $79, with more front seat room, more rear seat room, more window area, and more handling ease than last year's LTD. Plus the power of a V8 engine standard. A road car to take you across town or across the country.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
To test drive the all-new LTD on your own roads, see your Ford dealer today.
Oh, no! My flight takes early.
Whew. You sure didn't spend any time getting dressed.
Linda, tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Maybe he'd look better in Hager slacks. Or a Hager sport coat and slacks. He could even afford a Hager vested suit. And that's a look I can't afford to pass up.
Oh,
Hi.
Susan?
Close enough. For me?
Hager, because looking good makes you feel good.
Ready or not, here I come.
Just DeMarco is teeing it up on the 35-yard line to kick off, and Kevin Miller is dropped back center deep to receive it for the Minnesota Vikings. The differential is 7 points, with the Green Bay Packers out in front by a score of 10-3. There is the scoring drive, and Green Bay on the drive had the ball 4:22 on that drive.
Had the ball 10 minutes in the third quarter.
Kevin Miller at the 12-yard line to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. And on a field. He's finally stopped at the 37-yard line. It was Mike Douglas on the stop, so it is 1st and 10 now for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, let's see if the law of averages changes a little bit. I think we're going to see a different offense now for the Minnesota Vikings. Fran's got to start opening it up. He's got to start throwing on 1st down a lot more.
Van Tarkenton marches up to the line. Wide receivers left and right, and the wingback left alone setback. And gives it off to Foreman, and Foreman got to the 40-yard line, pushed back by Butler and Barzalauskas. Gain of 3 will make it 2nd down and 7 yards to go. In the 3rd quarter, time of possession, the Packers had the ball 10 minutes, 11 seconds. Minnesota had it 4 minutes, 49 seconds. Here's Rashad coming out to a wide left. Sammy White to a wide right. The running backs are split for Fran Tarkenton on the 2nd and 7. Tarkenton. Tarkenton is sacked. He is sacked back at the 35-yard line.
They're really putting a rush on Tarkenton today. Dave Roller again beat the block on the right side. He might not get credited with the sack, but watch Roller right there. He beat the guard and he's free. Now Franz moves over to the right. Barzalauskas is there and also Butler.
So it is 3rd down and 12 yards to go. Vikings have the ball at their own 35-yard line. The defense is in for the Green Bay Packers. Tarkenton spinning out and stops. Hit just as he unloaded the ball, and it is intercepted. I think it is intercepted at the 46-yard line. The Green Bay Packers have the ball, and it's Willie Buchanan with his 9th interception of the year.
And that'll tie him with Ken Stone of St. Louis for the NFL lead.
The 3rd time Tarkenton's been intercepted today.
And again, it's that defensive pressure by the defense. Watch this. Watch Butler. He goes down. He gets back up. Here comes Barzalauskas and a host of them.
When you break horses for a living, the worst part is knowing they might break you first. Once you've done your job, the best part is knowing you've turned a terrified animal into a horse a man can count on. And now comes Miller time. Time to ease off and head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Miller Beer. You got the time, we got the beer. Miller Beer.
NFL action begins next Sunday with the NFL Today, followed by a full slate of regional games. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
There's Dave Roller.
I got one. I'm going to get me one now.
All right.
All by myself, Paul.
All by himself.
1st and 10 now for the Green Bay Packers at the Vikings 46-yard line. Middleton got only 2 to the 44. It's 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Middleton now needs unofficially 34 yards to reach 1,000 yards rushing for the year for the Green Bay Packers. Matt Blair made the tackle.
Well, Atlanta has done it again. A couple of weeks ago, that home run pass in the last second. This time, with 1 second, 5 seconds left in the game, Bartkowski, a 1-yard touchdown pass to Mitchell. They edge New Orleans by 3.
2nd down and 8 yards to go. McBarty Smith. Inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Jeff Seaman made the stop. Carl Ella with him. Here's another final score. Cleveland knocked off the Los Angeles Rams and not only knocked them off by a final score of 30 to 19.
Boy, Greg Pruitt scored 1. Mike Pruitt scored 1. Everybody had a good day for Cleveland. Brian Sight threw for a touchdown.
So the Rams are now 10 and 3. 3rd and 3 for the Green Bay Packers at the 39-yard line. Middleton cutting and driving, and he'll be marked up there at the 36, close to the first down.
He's going to be a little bit short. This whole crowd's going to say go.
And now this is Minnesota injury timeout. There is a Minnesota injury. Punting unit is coming on for the Green Bay Packers.
Well, the way the defense is playing, and I know that's what Bart Starr's thinking about, Lindsey, the defense for the Packers has just been playing outstanding football, and they just want to pin the Vikings as deep in their own territory as they can.
Fourth down and a yard to go as they set it up. Devin Miller has dropped back to receive the punt of David Beverly. Beverly tries to scrib it. And it gets a lucky bounce, and it's going to be at the 5-yard line. First and 10 at the 5-yard line.
When things are going right, they go right.
They go all right. It was Jim Gano downfield to take the football for the Green Bay Packers. So Minnesota gets it, but they get it deep in their own territory. When play is resumed, they'll start first and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
These are two of today's newest razors. The one on the right is the new Norelco rechargeable rotary razor. This one has 2 blades and pivots up and down. The new Norelco 36 blades in 3 adjustable floating heads and a new shaving angle. Both give you a close shave. But the new Norelco rechargeable lets you walk away from soap and water. Of course, they do give you one thing Norelco doesn't. Gotcha! The new Norelco rechargeable rotary razor. Still no gotcha.
Announcing a whole new breed of Mustang for '79. The turbocharged Mustang from Ford. With the performance of an optional turbocharged engine that took Mustang from 0 to 50 in an average of 7.1 seconds. Precise handling from sports car features and more. Mustang Turbo in 3-door and 2-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
First and 10 now for the Minnesota Vikings. They have the ball in advance of their own 5 near their own 6-yard line. And Tarkenton at the control. But they leave it on the ground again to Chuck Foreman. And he is stacked up by Butler and Roller.
Oh, they're aroused. Lindsey, this has to be the best this defense has played all year long. Man, that defensive charge for that front 4, especially for Green Bay, they're just coming full blast.
Loss of a yard on the play, makes it 2nd and 11. Fran Tarkenton has thrown only 15 passes all day long, completed 5 and had 3 intercepted. Total yardage on passes for Minnesota, 35 yards.
That's unreal. They have yet to make a first down throwing the football.
Ricky Young in motion across. Fran Tarkenton from the end zone. Out into the right flat. Ricky Young up the sideline. Got to the 16-yard line. Close to the 6. Steve Luke made the tackle over there. They're taking a look now about the possible first down.
New England and Baltimore tied up 7-7. Second quarter, I think.
It is a first and 10. First and 10 for the Vikings at their 17-yard line.
That's the first down passing for the Vikings.
Packers are leading by a score of 10-3. The margin is still to 7 points for the Green Bay Packers. Tarkenton out into the right flat to Foreman. Chuck Foreman puts his head down and drives to the 19. Steve Luke there. Gain of only 2 yards on the completion makes it 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Clock is running with 10 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in this game.
Tucker's the only wide receiver, and he's a tight end. Rashad nor Sammy White has caught a pass.
Tarkenton. Again short to Foreman. Got 1 yard on the completion. Mike Hunt Was that on the play? So it's going to be 3rd and 7 at the 20-yard line.
Well, that's one time when he should not have done his little twist, Lindsey. He could have got by that man. There's Dave Hanner, defensive coordinator on the sidelines for Green Bay.
Washington's coming to the ball game now. Harry Washington, a wide receiver. Nickel defense is in there for the Green Bay Packers. 3rd and 7. 7 for 15 in 3rd down conversion. Tarkenton to Foreman at the 30. To the 34-yard line. It is 1st and 10. Mike McCoy on the tackle.
Passing situation, trying to double team Roller every time. Here's an early first quarter score. Seattle up to their old tricks. They probably the only team that manhandled Oakland this year. Earlier, 28-7. They lead Oakland 7-0 first quarter.
First down and 10 yards to go for the Minnesota Vikings, the perennial champions in the Central Division of the National Football Conference. Pick up of 14 yards on that last pass play. Here's a pitch to Foreman. And he's cut down for a loss. Mike Butler undercut him over there at the 28-yard line.
Now the Vikings are playing against a wild bunch today. Mike Butler, a great defensive play, didn't make the tackle, but he just broke up the play completely. There's Fran's stats on the day. Not one of the typical Tarkenton days we're used to. In fact, his average this year in the first 12 games is 21 completions and 36 attempts. That's his average per game.
2nd down and 16 yards to go. Ball is at the 28-yard line. Foreman to the 32. It'll be 3rd and 12 now for the Vikes. Weaver was in there on the stop.
Well, I'm not going to fool anybody with the play like that on 2nd and 15. You're going to have to go upstairs, Fran.
Mike Douglas comes in defensively now for the Green Bay Packers. Chuck Foreman has come off and Robert Miller's in there for the Vikings. 3rd down and 12 at the 32. Tarkenton. Complete. Robert Miller did not get the first down. Stretched his body out hopeful, but he's a couple of yards short at the 42. Mike Douglas on the tackle. 4th down coming up. Punting unit coming on for the Minnesota Vikings. 6 minutes, 52 seconds left to play in the game.
The Packer defense getting a great hand here.
Greg Coleman's in to do the punting, and Johnny Gray has dropped back to receive it for the Green Bay Packers. Packers are leading by a score of 10-3. Whistle stops the clock for the moment. Reposition the ball, and they're going to put a new ball in play. 6:31 on the clock. Greg Coleman waiting to get the snap. Johnny Gray deep. Johnny Gray at the 19, and that's it. Downfield on the coverage was Nate Allen. So the Packers get it. 1st and 10 at their own 19. It was a 38-yard punt. 6 minutes, 13 seconds left to play. The Green Bay Packers are leading the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 10-3.
It's 1934, and for miles around, there's just desert. Joe Jamaro over there, he dreams of farming this dust, and all he needs is water. Oh, there's plenty of water around here, except it's more than 1,000 feet straight down. Bringing it up's going to cost plenty. More than Joe's got, for sure. So where's he going to get the money to drill for water over 1,000 feet down? Where? From the money folks keep in their full-service bank. You see, America's bankers back Joe and thousands of other farmers, too. So today, you know that desert as the San Joaquin Valley. It looks like this for hundreds of miles. And the food from here, well, it reaches every table in America. So the next time you're shopping and you see a butte like this, remember, You had a part in it with the money you put in your full-service bank. America's bankers, helping you change things for the better.
It was a team sport, but these kids couldn't get it together on or off the court until the man they called the White Shadow showed them how to become winners. The White Shadow, premiering Monday.
Sideliners are in action here at Lambeau Field as the Green Bay Packers lead 10-3. They have the ball first and 10 at their own 19. David Whitehurst brings them up. Odell Middleton goes into the tailback of the I formation. Barty Smith is the up back. Odell Middleton wants to cut to the 20, 25. Necktied at the 25-yard line. It was Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker. Gain of 6 on the play makes it 2nd and 4.
Well, Middleton's been very active, Lindsey. 30 carries, 73 yards, and they've been tough. Out of the eye, here's the pitch around the right side. Barty Smith out in front. Knocks the linebacker out. Actually, Matt Blair did a pretty good job. Messed up the timing a little bit, but Middleton gets 6.
Running backs are split in this alignment. Big Barty Smith. Fumble the ball. Minnesota Vikings have recovered. The Vikings get the ball at the 26-yard line. Keep in mind the Vikings trail by only 7 points in this game. They have it 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 26.
And I'm telling you, if you're Bart Starr standing on the sidelines, that is the one thing that he would just had to be hoping and praying wouldn't happen. A fumble and a turnover right here. Here it goes, Barty Smith off the left side. Now that looks like a big hole. Fred McNeil just reached back and grabbed the football, and I think he's going to come up with it. Fred McNeil on a very clutch play for the Vikings.
5 minutes, 27 seconds left to play in this game. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Green Bay 26. Green Bay's leading 10-3. Ricky Young drives to the 20-yard line and inside. Steve Luke there on the stop. Just across the 20, it's going to be 2nd down and 4 yards to go for the Minnesota Vikings. 3 times the Green Bay Packers have turned that ball over to the Minnesota Vikings deep in Green Bay territory.
And they got only 3 points
so far. But now we're at the crucial part of the contest with 4:56 left to play.
What did I say about law of averages? About time something happened for the Vikings.
Ricky Young got about 2 to the 18-yard line. Mike Butler was there. It'll be 3rd down and 2 yards to go for the Vikes. Or maybe 3. It's going to be spotted at the 19-yard line. Get him only a yard on the play.
I don't think you'll see a field goal in this situation. I think the Vikings will go on 4th down, even if they come up short here.
They trail by 7 as the Packers lead them by a score of 10-3. Yes, Mom, please send a heater. God is trying to lend assistance to the Packer defense.
Look at Butler.
Ricky Young, but Butler's got it. Butler had him in his grasp as they tried a version of the Statue of Liberty. A version of the Statue of Liberty, one of the oldest plays in football, but Butler was right there.
Lindsey, he was making an outside pass rush. Watch this. Here he comes. Nobody blocks him. And Ricky Young, he looked up and he said, well, look what I got right here.
4th down, 11 yards to go. The ball is at the 26-yard line. The big play coming now for the Minnesota Vikings and for the Green Bay Packers. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left. 4th down, 11 yards to go for the Vikings, who are looking for the big play here, knowing that they trail by 7.
They blitz.
Tarkenton going long to the end zone, and it is deflected. Incomplete. The ball goes over on downs.
Mike McCoy.
Mike McCoy made the save. Sammy White, the intended receiver.
They threw a blitz at the Vikings. They picked him up, and they still had Sammy White double covered. Watch the blitz. There go the inside linebackers. The Vikings picked up well, and Tarkenton now lumbers over to the left side and throws for the home run in the end zone. And you see they got him short and long, and that's Mike McCoy who has the football for the incompletion.
So the ball goes over on downs to the Green Bay Packers, who have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. 3 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in this game. And the Packers are leading by a score of 10-3. At the start of the day, these two teams were tied for the top spot in the Central Division of the National Football Conference with identical records of 7 and 5. Cordell Middleton out to the 30-yard line. Picked up 4 yards on the play, and so it'll be 2nd down and 6 at the 30. We approach the 2-minute warning now with the clock running. We're at 2:55. Green Bay Packers, of course, trying to run out that clock now, control the football, eat up the clock. And they're getting ample assistance from the sellout crowd here at Lambeau Field, the Packer fans, who've had a few years to wait for a great deal to yell about. Andre Thompson in motion across. Middleton again. He moved it up to the 34-yard line before Matt Blair made the tackle.
The record for most attempts in Green Bay history is 32 by Jim Grabowski, along with John Brockington. Middleton now has 31 attempts for 77 yards.
Here's a timeout, Minnesota. Now, they want to stop that clock before it gets to the 2-minute warning, so that there'll only be 9 seconds used until they get down to the automatic timeout. So with 2:09 remaining, the Minnesota Vikings call for a timeout. Mixed Team Golf Championship coming up next Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS.
And you'll see the defending champions, Jerry Pate, Hollis Stacy, Donna Young playing with Lee Trevino, Nancy Lopez will be there. Be some great golf.
Mixed Team Golf Championship next Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on CBS. When play is resumed, the Green Bay Packers have the ball. They have it 3rd and 2. They have it at their own 34-yard line. We have 2 minutes, 9 seconds left to play in the game. The Green Bay Packers, who were 6-1 early in the year, then faded and lost 4 of their last 5. They played a crucial game against these Minnesota Vikings earlier this year at Minnesota. And the Minnesota Vikings won the ball game. And it's been that kind of a race. However, the Green Bay Packers have never been out of first place since opening day of this NFL season. They have been tied for it. They were tied for it today, but they have never been out of first place. 3rd and 2, double tight end. Rich McGeorge, Paul Kaufman in there. Marty Smith, Cordell Middleton with the setbacks. Middleton, but he did not get it. He is short. He is short, and we'll get to the 2-minute warning. We're down to 2:02, 2:01, and that's it. So there's the whistle sounding the automatic timeout that comes with the 2-minute warning.
Here it is, and a good defensive effort again by the Vikings. They stop him a little bit short. So when he come back, Green Bay will have to punt.
The best place a Firestone tire can be is bringing together you and me with all the folks we want to see for the holidays. Firestones travel miles and miles to help bring a lot of smiles for the holidays. It's the biggest thing we do all year. Fill your loved ones' hearts with cheer. Makes the kids all shout, we're here for the holidays. What better job could a Firestone do than travel an hour a day or two and bring someone special back to you for the holidays?
At Firestone, we think one of the best places our tires can take you is home for the holidays.
Chicago Bears have defeated Tampa Bay by a final score of 14-3. These Green Bay Packers play those two teams in the next 2 weeks.
Miller in the new position to receive. What are they now, 5 and 8? 5 and 8.
Now on 4th down, David Beverly is back to punt, and Kevin Miller is now back to receive the punt for the Minnesota Vikings. 2 minutes left to play in the game. The Packers have a 7-point lead. 10 men on the line for the Minnesota Vikings. Beverly gets it off. Kevin Miller waits at his 29. He has it 30, 35. Drops the ball, but it is Out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Well, there's no shortage of action on CBS's movies this week. Tuesday, a motorcycle wow man, an ex-trucker, and a gutsy gal take on a vicious gang of hijackers in the television premiere of Highballin', starring Peter Fonda and Jerry Reed.
And then Wednesday, share an adventure that will stir your heart. One of the most popular movies ever made, Billy Jack.
The movie is on CBS. Now 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. The ball at their own 43-yard line. This crowd is alive here in Green Bay. And Tarkenton now up the middle, and it is incomplete. Foreman contending that he was being held by Mike Douglas.
That he was.
I think he was. 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
This has not been one of Fran Tarkenton's best days by a long shot. But I tell you one thing, if you're going to think of one quarterback to have to move your football team the last 2 minutes of the game, this is the guy that you would pick.
Here's the way things stand right now, pending the outcome of this ball game, of course. Detroit played on Thanksgiving, and Chicago and Tampa Bay have finished, and Green Bay and Minnesota haven't. 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line. And Tarkenton up the middle and complete.
That's the first time today that he's completed a pass.
Sammy White
to his wide receivers. Sammy White open on the inside, 1st down Vikings.
At the 36-yard line of the Green Bay Packers, and the Vikings are ready to go. Spotted just outside the 36.
Yeah, he's got to watch his timeouts because he doesn't have 3. He only has 2 left.
1:22 left to play in this game. Now a short drop, and he hit his receiver in the back, Rashad. Rashad took an out cut and got hit in the back.
Boy, he was wide open. He was not looking for the pass.
2nd and 10 at the 36, and that stops the clock with 1 minute 18 seconds left to play. Green Bay leading by a score of 10-3. Clock starts again on the snap following the incompletion. This crowd in Green Bay exhorting the Packer defense. Short drop, and again to Rashad, and he's wide open again. At the 30-yard line, a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Smart call by Tarkenton. A lot of your veteran quarterbacks will do that. They'll have a run a pattern. He's open. They incomplete. They come back and they say, let's run the same thing. Now that pass is a duplicate of the one that Rashad was not looking for the time before. And Fran came right back to it. He's wide open. This time Rashad's looking. You see Estes Hood, number 38. Steve Luke with help from John Anderson.
Now they take a timeout. The ball is spotted at the 29-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 at the 29 when play is resumed, and the clock is at 1:10. Minnesota Vikings talk it over.
There won't be any field goal attempts here.
They have 1 timeout remaining. Here comes Fran Tarkenton back to the huddle now. Board of Strategy has decided what it is that they have decided to do.
The lowest point production all year long for the Vikings.
Washington to a wide right, Rashad to a wide left. Sammy White set in the slot right. 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
Watch those backs, those split backs. Here comes the blitz.
Tarkenton puts it up over the middle, and Foreman drops the ball. Incomplete is the call. Incomplete. Foreman had it just for a second. The call is incomplete. 4th down and 3 yards to go at the 29-yard line. 1 minute 5 seconds left.
He slipped behind the defender. He thought he had the football. There's the blitz on. There's Roller and Barzalauskas. He lobbed it over Mike Butler, who was covering Chuck Foreman on that, and he just couldn't hold on to the football. Another look. Here comes Anderson. They had everybody coming. Ricky Young gets a good pickup on the linebacker. Here's the lob. Right there, he had it. Chuck will make that catch 9 out of 10 times normally.
4th down and 3 yards to go for the Vikings. They have the ball at the Packers' 29-yard line. Fran Tarkenton runs it, and it is taken out of bounds by Ricky Young. Ricky Young took it out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
This game's not over with, folks.
First and 10, and the clock says exactly 1 minute left to play.
What a clutch fourth down play. Just a little flare pattern to Ricky Young. That's his 70th reception on the year. Oh, he's over 70. What's he caught today? 5 for 38. That gives him 73 catches. Here it is on the outside, and he got out of bounds to stop the clock.
So now Ricky Young is tied with Chuck Foreman for the all-time lead in passes caught in the season. Foreman had 73 and 75. First and 10 at the 23-yard line. Tarkenton. Rashad at the 15. Scissored out of bounds. No, he did not get out of bounds. Keep it running, he says.
How could he not get out of bounds?
As it was killed there at the 15-yard line. The clock is running.
Bad call. Should have stopped the clock on that. He was knocked out of bounds.
Dropping back is Tarkenton. And from behind, he is taken by Johnson. Ezra Johnson. Ezra Johnson. So it's going to be third down now, and 7 yards to go.
They got one timeout left.
And the clock is down to 32 seconds. Wind it up, says the referee. It's down to 28. Tarkenton. Tarkenton, and with someone holding on. The feet were pulled out from under him. Roller had him by the foot, which is why the pass was short.
Well, he hollered up in the booth. He said, Paul, I'm going to get another sack. He and Mike Butler have one each today, and watch Dave Roller. He's just beaten the guard almost every time. There's Dave Roller hanging on, and as you said, Lindsay, he caused the pass to be incomplete.
Fourth down and 7 yards to go for the Minnesota Vikings. Just inside the 20-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. 23 seconds left to play. The Packers are leading by a score of 10-3. Another big fourth down now for the Minnesota Vikings, and listen to the crowd. They're on their feet here at Lambeau Field.
And I am too.
Tarkenton steps up, complete to the 5-yard line to Sammy White. Sammy White to the 5, and now here is a timeout, Minnesota Vikings. They use their last timeout to stop the clock at 14 seconds.
And Fran very quickly looked around to see if there were any flags. There were none.
First and goal at the 5-yard line for the Minnesota Vikings. So it's all come down to this. 14 seconds on the clock. 7 points separating these two teams. They were tied, of course, at the start of the day. Identical records of 7 and 5 for the lead in the Central Division. So we'll have 14 seconds when we come back.
I like pickles, but they don't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
I like pizza, but it doesn't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
Digel's special combination of antacid and anti-gas ingredients gives you fast, gentle relief from acid indigestion, heartburn, and gas in just minutes.
I like hot dogs, but they don't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
Is one of the most advanced motor cars ever built, and it's equipped with one of the most advanced car stereos ever built. It's by Craig. Who else? A power play cassette system, AM/FM road-rated receiver with digital station readout that becomes an electronic digital.
First and goal at the 5-yard line. The ball is loud up to Rashad, and he's got it touchdown. Rashad has got it touchdown. Mike McCoy was up there with him, but Rashad took it for the touchdown.
A beautiful pass and a great clutch catch by Ahmad Rashad. They burned Mike McCoy the last time with 3 touchdown passes on his side, Lindsay, up in Bloomington. And right here, watch Ahmad Rashad go up for the football. McCoy's got a hold of it, but Rashad was not to be denied.
Conversion attempt coming now. The score at this moment is Green Bay 10, Minnesota 9. Dan Meyer will attempt it.
Ezra Johnson is the guy who's going to try to jump up.
He did not. It's good, and the score is tied. Dan Meyer with Krause holding, converted, and so the score is tied at 10-10, and 10 seconds remain to be played in regulation playing time.
Ezra Johnson is shaken up there, Lindsay, or is it just disgusting?
Number 78, Ezra Johnson. Keep in mind now that the clock does not start again until the ball is touched by a member of the receiving team in the field of play, not when it's kicked. So now the Minnesota Vikings huddling before kicking off. Danmar getting ready to tee it up. Andre Thompson is center deep for the Green Bay Packers.
So we'll start all over again in sudden death.
Sudden death procedure, of course, is a coin is flipped, 3-minute wait, and the ball game gets underway.
And Big Mo might have switched over to the whites.
Big Mo Minham may very well have switched over to the whites as the Minnesota Vikings came on late to tie the score after Green Bay had led most of the day. Bounced by Danmar, wanted no return. And it is being returned by Steve Wagner, and he gets it up to the 43-yard line. 6 seconds on the clock.
Now they've got a fate possibility here. How about the game with Atlanta and New Orleans? They threw it up for grabs, they got the touchdown. Now, of course, they got to throw it a home run of about 70 yards to get it to the end zone. But a game cannot end on a penalty. The thing you'd be hoping for, if you're going to go for the bomb, would be interference. Then that would give you one more play. And if it's deep enough, here it comes. Here comes the 3 receivers to the right side.
Lofton, Tullis, and Thompson. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Whitehurst waiting for the snap. 3 receivers over 4 on the right side. Downfield they go sprinting. That's put up by Whitehurst. And it's taken by Andre Thompson. He is at the 6-yard line. Time has run out. Time has run out and the game is over. It's ending in a tie and we'll have a sudden death. Andre Thompson took it at the 6-yard line.
Oh, he all looked as if he could have slipped in for the touchdown. Here come your 3 receivers. Now the thinking on this is either to try to back the ball. You cannot hit the ball and knock it forward, but if it's slapped up by one of those white guys right there in the white jerseys, up, there it goes. Andre Thompson's got it right here, and there's Tom Hannon making the tackle. 50-yard pass. Of course, now if they would have had interference on that call, Lindsey, they would have had the ball 1st and goal, and they could have tried a field goal there.
That was a Minnesota injury, and attention is being given right there.
It's Tom Hannon.
Yes,
Tom
it is.
Hannon,
Tom
the free
Hannon.
safety.
Now we're going to have the toss of the coin at midfield to see who gets the football in the sudden death.
We used to toss coins on the corner when we were kids, you know, just fooling around. Can you imagine now we got a coin toss and sudden death is so important to call it right. Whew.
Green Bay Packers have their delegation out there, and they are awaiting the delegation to represent the Minnesota Vikings.
And
led
if you're
by Mr. James Marshall coming out now.
Lindsey, if the fans at home are wondering about the wind, I wouldn't be able to tell you which way it favors if they're kicking a field goal, right or left. It's kind of a swirling wind here in Lambeau Field.
And the toss, it's in the air. And the toss has been won by the Green Bay Packers. They will doubtless elect to receive. The team that has won has elected to receive every time in NFL history, except that time in Dallas. But Abner Haynes says, we'll kick to the clock.
This is one of the most advanced motor cars ever built, and it's equipped with one of the most advanced car stereos ever built. It's by Craig. Who else? A power play cassette system, AM/FM road-rated receiver with digital station readout that becomes an electronic digital clock when the radio is off. And it's designed to fit virtually anything you can drive. The DeLorean sports car is not available yet, but the Craig stereo is. Just see your Craig dealer. Who else?
Introducing a whole new breed of Mustang. The all-new 79 Mustang from Ford. With a new aerodynamic design, precise handling, and Mustang performance from options of V6, V8, even a turbocharged engine. Mustang for $79. The new breed in 2-door and 3-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
Think of all the stereo receivers out there, all the sophisticated electronics, all the heavy price tags. Not one of these receivers has all the features found in JCPenney's remarkable MCS Series 75-watt receiver. Features like a graphic equalizer with LED readouts, an FM multipath deviation meter, an LED signal strength meter. JCPenney's MCS Series 75-watt receiver. Think of it.
We are in the intermission now, preceding the start of sudden death overtime in this game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota Vikings scored early, a field goal, but then the Pack came back and led at halftime 7-3, went ahead 10-3, and then the Vikings came on to tie it at 10-10. Cleveland defeated Los Angeles today. They manhandled the Rams, as a matter of fact, by a score of 30-19.
Another final. Atlanta in the last 5 seconds won the second time in the last 10 seconds of a ball game over the New Orleans Saints, 20-17. Buffalo just swamping New York.
41-17, the final score. Buffalo over the Giants.
And here's an upset. The New York Jets 24, Miami 13.
Chicago Bears beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a score of 14-3, a final Central Division game.
All right, James Stenerud with 3 field goals, 2 touchdown passes by their quarterback Livingston, 23-7. And here we go.
Danmar's teeing it up. Brand Tarkenton talking to Bud Grant along the sideline. The Green Bay Packers get a hand as they come onto the field. We're in a 10-10 tie, starting sudden death overtime.
They're playing for the conference lead, Lindsay. Vikings a slight favorite coming into this football right here on the home turf of the Packers. Whoever wins it will be right there in the catbird seat, won't they? Heading down to the last 3 games.
Heading down the stretch with 3 to play. Somebody's going to be a full game on top. Andre Thompson has dropped back center deep now for the Green Bay Packers. Danmark coming up. Thompson at the 10-yard line. He's at the 15, he's at the 20, he's at the 25, and he's at the 30, and he's out to 35, and he is out to the 38-yard line.
Good return by Andre Thompson.
So the Green Bay Packers start 1st and 10 at their own 38. The first team that scores by any means wins the football game. It was Tom Hannon downfield to make the tackle, along with the kicker, Rick Danmar. David Whitehurst, the quarterback, coming in now, having just been in conference with Bart Starr. Zeke Bratkowski comes in to call the play in the huddle. 1st and 10. Marty Smith and Turdell Middleton are the setbacks. Turdell Middleton to the 40-yard line. Gain 2. James White made the tackle. 2nd down and 8.
Middleton, of course, has just set a Green Bay record attempts rushing in one football game. He's got 33 attempts today for 84 yards.
He's in the left set as they come up here. Barty Smith in the right set for Whitehurst. Whitehurst retreats, bumps it, and it is complete. Taken by McGeorge. Over the 50-yard line to the 49. 1st and 10. Again, a completed pass, 3rd of the day, caught by Rich McGeorge.
And that ties him in the all-time Green Bay pass receiving as for tight ends. Ron Kramer had 170.
Green Bay Packers are now in Minnesota territory. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here come the Packers. Andre Thompson in motion across. Turdell Middleton. He's at the 47. Jeff Seaman made the tackle. A gain of 2 on the play, makes it 2nd down and 8. Middleton has been the workhorse of the day. He's from Memphis State.
Needs 11 yards to go over the 1,000-yard rushing mark in a season. John Brockett in the last one to do that.
Lofton goes to a wide right under Thompson left. Second down and 8 yards to go. Middleton drives to the 43-yard line. Matt Blair brought him down. A gain of 4. It's going to make it 3rd and 4.
Gigantic third down situation here. Not a big one, just a gigantic third down situation.
It's all of that. Because any time in sudden death you give up the football, you're in imminent danger.
Just as important for the Minnesota Viking defense.
Whitehurst. McGeorge could not hang on. Rich McGeorge at the 40 could not control it. It's 4th down coming up.
He juggled the football. Bobby Bryant was right there. If he could have held on, I think he could have made the first down. Bobby Bryant was in tackling position.
Beverly's coming out to punt it away now. Kevin Miller races onto the field to go deep for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, they'll cover that outside receiver. Beverly's thrown 2 passes. Last week he completed one for confirmation, but he wouldn't try it here.
10 men on the line for the Minnesota Vikings.
Or would they?
Beverly puts it up high and relatively short. Hits on the 25, bounce to the 20, 18, near the 17-yard line. So the Vikings get the football now. They get it in their own territory, 1st and 10.
He was trying to kick the football very, very high, let the coverage on the punt get down there and trap him inside the 10. But he hit it just a little bit too high. 25-yard punt.
Spotted in advance of the 17, just short of the 18. Fran Tarkenton, the old pro, brings him up now. Chuck Foreman and Ricky Young. Ricky Young. About the 22-yard line. Gain of about 4, make it 2nd and 6. Anderson in to make the tackle along with Steve Luke. Score tied 10-10. We were in sudden death before us. Foreman, and he is pulled down immediately by Dave Roller.
Well, you can't say enough for Roller today. Unbelievably quick.
A loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Here's Tarkenton, little handoff to Foreman, and Roller beats his man again.
Harry Washington comes into the ball game now, the wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. 3 wide receivers, Rashad, White, Washington, on a 3rd and 8. Tarkenton is sacked. He's wrapped up at the 11-yard line. Ezra Johnson with help from Mike Butler.
Oh, he just flew in there. I tell you, the 2 defensive ends for Green Bay are very, very quick. Ezra Johnson, they say, is probably the fastest guy on this football team. He runs right with James Lofton. 4-4 for a defensive end. We've already seen him on reverse on a kickoff. And right here, Fran knows he's in trouble. No way to get that pass off.
Punting from his own end zone, Greg Coleman. Johnny Gray has dropped back, standing at his own 40, or rather at the Vikings 45 to field it. Coleman waits for the snap. Drops up. Booms it out of there. A beauty across the 50 on back. Fielded. And as he comes to a stop back at the 39-yard line, he went back, fielded the ball, took a half a step, held his hand aloft, and so it was killed at the 41-yard line. Packers will start 1st and 10 at their own 41. Next week's games now. Regionally, Atlanta will be against Cincinnati. These Green Bay Packers will be in Tampa Bay, and the Rams will go against the Giants.
Other NFL regional games, the Lions against the Cards, Philadelphia against Minnesota, and the 49ers against New Orleans.
Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. All the action begins with the NFL Today pregame show with Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy, and Irv Cross. 1st and 10 for the Pack. They have the ball at their own 41-yard line. Iredell Middleton. Across to the 46-yard line. Second down and 5 yards to go at the 46.
Here's Chester Markle on the sidelines. Last time we were here, he kicked a 48-yard field goal with seconds left to beat Tampa Bay.
Big Marty Smith to the 50-yard line.
Nothing fancy, just straight ahead.
It was Fred McNeil on the stop. It's going to be third down about 1.5 yards. Tension here at Lambeau Field with the score tied 10-10 in sudden death overtime.
The lights are on.
Now timeout, Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers have taken a timeout. Whitehurst comes over. You get the call on the third with 1.5 yards. 9 minutes, 7 seconds left in this overtime period. Our producer is Mr. David Fox.
From the city of New York.
And our director is Mr. Chris Erskine.
City of Chicago.
All of the people who have made this telecast possible here this afternoon. Whitehurst is coming back onto the field, and with him, tight end Paul Kaufman. Means a double tight end alignment on a third and 1.5 yards to go at the 50-yard line.
Now, Bart Starr was a quarterback, and we were in the huddle. You know, we'd be hollering, come on, Bart, call 36, A fly outside. Little play action pass.
Smith and Middleton. Smith, well, with a little second effort, he may have. It's very close.
And again, it all depends on where they mark it.
So they stop the clock to bring out the chain to measure for the possible first down.
I think they're going to be a little bit short.
I thought so myself at the time, but we'll find out for sure right now. Looks to be a shade short, just a shade.
They're going to punt it.
It's a shade short.
They'll punt it. Surely you wouldn't go. If you don't go here, if you don't make the first down, it's almost a give up.
So punter David Beverly comes on. 8 minutes, 54 seconds left in the overtime period.
And if nobody scores, it's a tie.
It is a tie. Kevin Miller has dropped back. Beverly will punt it away. Kevin Miller at the 20, and he is hit immediately
by Estes Hood.
Estes Hood was down there waiting for him, and so the Vikings start first and 10 at their 21-yard line. Score tied 10-10. We're in a one-quarter sudden death overtime period with 8 minutes, 37 seconds left to play.
And the way these two teams have been battling all day long, Lindsay, it's not out of the realm of possibility that this could go right down to the wire with the tie.
It could, in fact. And Tarkenton. And it is completed to Rashad up at the 35-yard line. Johnny Gray made the hit. It's going to be marked at the 37-yard line. First and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. A 17-yard pickup on the pass play from Tarkenton to Rashad. Tarkenton. And it's Tucker Across the 50-yard line to the 48-yard line of the Green Bay Packers, 1st and 10. Gary Weaver made the stop.
2 straight passes by Fran Tarkenton, moving 32 yards. This is the first one that's good for 17 big ones. Comes right back and hits his tight end for 15 yards in the first down.
Rick Danmar's longest field goal of the year for the Minnesota Vikings has been 47 yards. Led Grant along the sideline, 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Packs 48. Tarkenton. And the ball is out of his hands, and the penalty marker is thrown, and it is picked up. But whistle stops play. You saw Big Mike Butler in pursuit of the ball.
Intentionally grounded. Ezra wants a sack.
Intentional grounding is exactly what's been called. So the penalty will be against the Minnesota Vikings, and it's down in distance. And the crowd here in Green Bay is not happy. Back to the 42.
Here's Tarkenton. Nobody was anywhere close to being a receiver on here. He sees Ezra Johnson right here. He just tries to get the football away. And I guess they, the fans really didn't know how many yards he'd be penalized, probably figuring 5, but they're figuring 10 yards and the loss of a down. So
2nd down and 20 yards to go for the Vikings at their own 42. 7 minutes, 18 seconds left in the overtime period. Robert Miller, Ricky Young in the backfield. Young in motion to the outside left. Miller, Robert Miller inside the 40-yard line. Just short of another first down. Steve Luke made the stop.
Well, that's the biggest run of the day. A little quick trap up front. Good blocking by the Vikings. End zone shot. Center blocks left. The right guard traps. Here comes Robert Miller. He broke a tackle by Barzalauskas. Almost got him by the shoot toss, but he just kept his balance. Good run by Miller.
Willie Buchanan is injured on the play. So the training staff of the Green Bay Packers is out there. 20-yard pickup by Robert Miller. It's going to be about a yard short of the first down. It will be 3rd and 1. Buchanan's being assisted off. Ball is at the Green Bay Packers 39-yard line. They're going to take the chain out now and measure for the distance.
We're short.
They want to see how much. Tarkenton wanted to see how much short. Well, a yard. So they use the chain to spot the ball now at the inbounds marker. Score tied 10-10. Sudden death overtime in Green Bay. The Vikings and the Packers. 7:05 on the clock in the overtime period. Here come the Vikings. Miller's still in there. Robert Miller. Foreman.
First down.
1st and 10 at the 35.
Receivers check back in. Rashad, White, Ricky Young. Let's see, Chuck's 22 carries a day, 46 yards.
If you'd like to know what kind of range they're getting into, if they kick the field goal right now, it'll be a 52-yarder. So that is what they're shortening up on from here on out. It's the Packers' first overtime of this season. Dropping back is Tarkenton. And he completes it at the 30. And it's taken on down by Ricky Young to the 10-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go at the 10 for the Minnesota Vikings.
25-yard pickup. Fran finally getting a little pass protection in this series, Lindsey. Here he is, he goes back. Now he's got all the time in the world to look around and survey his receivers going downfield. There's your tight end crossing. Here comes Young coming back from against the grain, and he's got some people out in front. That's Bob Tucker getting a block on Steve Luke, who's in on the stop.
So it is first down at the 10-yard line. Foreman just inside the 10. Mike Butler upset him there. Second down coming just inside the 10-yard line. 5 minutes, 11 seconds left in the overtime period.
And the only sustained drive that the Vikings had in regulation time, Lindsey, I think they had 2 fourth down passes. Fourth down, and they made them both.
That they did. They made clutch plays on fourth down in each case, and then a clutch play for the touchdown.
Somehow.
Buchanan's back in the ball game now for the Packers.
This man finds a way to beat you.
Foreman to the 5 and inside the 5-yard line. He's at the 4. It'll be third down coming now. Steve Luke was there on the tackle.
They're not going to waste any more time. Here comes the field goal team.
4.5 minutes on the clock, but on third down, they're going to go right now and try to win it from right here. There's no point in trying to get any closer, they figure, and Rick Danmar is coming in to attempt it. Danmar had a 19-yarder to put the Vikings on the scoreboard early, and this will be a 21-yard field goal attempt. Krause holding for Danmar. Krause holding for Danmar. Krause puts it down. Danmar boots it up. It is no good. It's no good. He missed it. It is no good. And so the ball goes over at the 20-yard line to the Green Bay Packers as Danmar missed the field goal attempt from the 21-yard line.
Well, he missed an earlier one. I thought he swallowed the olive again. All it was an extra point, Lindsey. Just keep your head down. Here's an end zone shot of it. Ball's placed by Paul Krause, and he just shanked it to the right.
So with 4 minutes left to play in this overtime period, the Green Bay Packers get the ball. First and 10 at their 20-yard line. And how do you like them apples?
Unbelievable. And Rick Danmar on the sidelines has got to be the most disgusted man in this stadium right now. You have to feel a little bit sorry for him. Oh, this will haunt him forever.
Whitehurst has the football. Screen left to Marty Smith. Marty Smith to the 25. To the 30. Shoulders a man out of the way. He went out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Jeff Seaman was there to bounce him out.
Little man-to-man confrontation. Marty Smith, 6'4", 245. Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker. Not small, 6'3", about 240.
Bud Grant. That's Whitehurst looking over to pick up his next play. It's wig-wagged over by Bratkowski. First and 10 for the Packers. They have the ball at their own 31-yard line. 3:52 left to play in the overtime period.
I guess we'll have a 2-minute warning, won't we? I've never been this far in an overtime.
Few have. Andre Thompson goes across. Cordell Middleton up to the 35-yard line. He picked up 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 35. Keep in mind that if nobody scores in this quarter, in this overtime period, it simply goes into the record books as a tie game. Three and a half minutes, and the clock is running, as you see, in set. Score tied 10-10. Cordell Middleton to the 40, and he is hauled down now at the 44-yard line. First and 10. Matt Blair made the stop there. But it's the Green Bay Packers who are moving upfield. 2 minutes, 54 seconds on the clock. Score tied 10-10.
Well, what a fine young running back they have in Cordell Middleton. He's over 100 yards. 38 carries, 110 yards today.
He's rushed for 1,002, and it's been posted now. 1,002 for the season. You see the clock running. Middleton brings them up. Whitehurst, the quarterback. Whitehurst has the ball.
In trouble.
He is in deep trouble. Tried to throw it, and it is an incompletion. Minnesota Vikings wrapped him up. The roar you hear is the announcement that Turdell Middleton has rushed for 1,002 yards. That's the response of the crowd. Incompleted pass, the ball is simply spotted at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 at the 44.
Now the clock's beginning to work against both teams here, Lindsey. They're tied, of course, for the conference lead. 2:16 to go, and the Packers have 1 timeout. The Vikings 2.
Jim Culbreth is in there now, and Barty Smith is out. Andre Thompson across.
Comes a reverse.
The reverse. It's Lofton, and it's flea flicker, and Whitehurst throws incomplete. Pulled off the alumni play here in the dying moments of the overtime period. 3rd and 10 at the 44.
Here comes the old flea flicker. Here's a pitch. Middleton hands off to Lofton, who throws it back to Whitehurst. Now trying to go downfield. He's a little bit too far to throw the bomb here. He's run out of coverage, so he tries to just throw it over the linebacker's head to Middleton, and he couldn't get to it.
The Green Bay sideline. 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Green Bay's ball at their 44. Turdell Middleton has come off. Nate Simpson has replaced him. Jim Culbreth stays in. Well, the running backs are Nate Simpson and Jim Culbreth. Whitehurst. Going long. Lofton incomplete. Lofton trying to run underneath it. 4th and 10 at the 44, and here comes Beverly on the punting unit.
And I'll tell you one thing, Tom Hannon was just hoping that it was incomplete because he couldn't keep up with James Lofton going down the sideline, just a little bit overthrown because he could not have got to that football.
2 minutes, 2 seconds left in the overtime period. Beverly's back to punt. Devin Miller's back center deep to receive it for the Minnesota Vikings. Score tied 10-10 in overtime. Devin Miller at the 22, fair catch. So the Vikings start 1st and 10.
Now, if this game ends in a tie, it'll just put added pressure on both these teams heading down the stretch, Lindsey. The Vikings next week at home against the Philadelphia Eagles, and then they play the last 2 games on the road against Detroit and Oakland. The Packers have all 3 games on the road at Tampa Bay next week, the Bears in Chicago, and they finish up in LA. So who's got the tougher schedule?
You'll never know till they finish it. .155 left to play in this overtime period. Ball is at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Bud Grant of the Minnesota Vikings. Twice the Vikings had field goal attempts go awry. The last one a chip shot that seemingly would end the ball game, but it didn't. And as a fellow you'll be seeing more and more of in the days to come.
He's at home here.
Ball is marked, ready for play, 1st and 10. Vikings at the 23. Lights were turned on at the start of the ball game here this afternoon. They were not all that's necessary, but they're needed right now. Foreman and Ricky Young for Fran Tarkenton. Tarkenton out to Foreman. 25 to the 28-yard line. They picked up 5 yards on the play. John Anderson made the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 5. The Vikes. 1 minute 40 seconds left to play in this sudden death overtime period. Score tied 10-10.
If the score ties and the game ends in a tie, Lindsey, I think Minnesota will feel very fortunate getting out of here with the tie, and the Packers, I think, is going to feel a little bit frustrated. They led all the way only to let one little drive where Fran Tarkenton had to make 2 fourth-down big plays to keep him in it.
Tarkenton stops, scrambles, goes on the run, intercepted, fumble, picked up, and finally Buchanan had it, and then Dave Roller ended up with it. Buchanan intercepted it, picked it off, fumbled it, and Dave Roller picked it up, and the Packers held the ball 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Let's pick it up again. I think it goes through Rashad's hand. Roll out right, Tarkenton. It's going to come back to the left side. He finds a man open. Little flip pass right there. Should have been caught. Rashad. There goes Buchanan. He's got the football. He pumps it. Dave Roller with the football. Here he comes, trying to get a little daylight. And it's Green Bay ball, and he wants it for a souvenir. He hopes as a win.
1st and 10 outside the 42-yard line.
Look at him, he's happy.
He's going to take it home. No, he's not. He's going to give it to the fans up in the stands for a souvenir. Compliments of Dave Roller. 1 minute, 6 seconds left to play in this game. Whitehurst blitz. And incomplete. Andre Thompson didn't see it.
Wasn't looking. He wasn't even running a pattern.
So it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 42. The clock stopped with 1 minute, 1 second left to play in the overtime period. Score tied 10-10.
Well, they got all the best of it right here. And if you're wondering if that was an interception, folks, sitting back in Minneapolis, it looked as if Buchanan ran for about 3 steps.
Yes. Now dropping back. Here's Whitehurst.
There's your turn in.
Yes, it is to Andre Thompson. And he is at the 25-yard line. Andre Thompson. And now Green Bay is calling for a timeout. Green Bay is calling for a timeout. And it stops the clock with 49 seconds left. The ball is at the 25. If you kick the field goal right now, it'd be a 42-yarder.
17 yards on that last turn-in pattern to Thompson. He wasn't looking on the pass previous. This time he turned around and was right there. The Packers are out of timeouts. At least that's what the scoreboard reads, Lindsay.
Just DeMarco, you saw him tying up his shoelace there. Just DeMarco along the sideline.
We want to check that. That was not Willie Buchanan on the interception. It wasn't 28, it was 29. Mike McCoy.
Mike McCoy intercepted. Roller recovered the fumble. Marco now loosening up. 49 seconds on the clock. 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers. At the 25-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. Score tied 10-10. Sudden death overtime. The winner to be on top in the Central Division of the National Football Conference. Whitehurst has been over in conference with Bart Starr and with Steve Bradkowski. Convenes the huddle.
They might try to run a sweep or something to get out of bounds, or will he go upstairs?
Middleton and Barty Smith at the setbacks. Middleton got to the 23-yard line. Clock is running.
Gonna run one more time and then bring in Marco.
2nd down and 8 at the 23, and they're ready to go. 32 seconds left.
Just try to stop the clock with the pass.
It is an incompletion across the sideline marker. Lofton took it, but it was across the sideline. Incomplete, stops the clock, 25 seconds.
End zone shot. Here's Whitehurst, sideline pattern to Lofton. Slow it up right there. There's your catch. There's your left foot in. He drives his right foot. A judgment call on the referee. Let's see it again. Number 39, the referee right there. Both of them right on the play. He's got to have both feet in bounds. Here goes your left foot. That's inbounds. Drags his right foot. I'd say that was a completion.
3rd down and 8 yards to go at the 23-yard line. Again, they tried. There's the same play.
Well,
Lofton tried to turn out.
That time Nate Wright was guessing. And David Whitehurst very alertly threw it out of bounds.
So now with 21 seconds on the clock, here comes Chester Markle in to try a field goal. As the Green Bay Packers try to win it here in sudden death overtime, you see Chester Markle now at the 30-yard line. It'll be a 40-yard attempt. He's got Bobby Douglas to hold for him. Bobby Douglas will hold. Chester Markle will attempt a 40-yard field goal. If good, it wins the ball game. Snap, Markle boots. No good. No good. It is no good. No good.
He hooked it left.
And so, we have 17 seconds on the clock.
Here it is. He just hooked it. Had no chance at all. So we're going to have a tie ball game unless some miracle happens as far as the Vikings are concerned.
Ball goes over at the line of scrimmage, which is just short of the 23-yard line. The Vikings get it there first and 10 with 17 seconds, and the score is still tied 10-10. And in the overtime, each team has had a shot at the field goal, and neither has been able to cash it in. Bart Starr.
And Danmar has not missed an
They hit the
extra
deck. The Minnesota Vikings are simply going to let Tarkenton hit the deck and run out the clock. Green Bay Packers cannot stop it, and so it is counting down. 9 seconds, 8 and 7 and 6 and on as you see the clock running. And this is a tie ball game. 2 seconds, 1 second, and in sudden death overtime, neither team was able to score, and the game has ended in a final score of a 10-10 tie between Minnesota and Green Bay. Lindsey Nelson for Paul Hornung, the NFL on CBS as a presentation of CBS Sports.
The NFL today is...
Okay, babe.
The leader of a new rock band is the object of a sisterly battle as Julie falls for Barbara's bow on One Day at a Time. Mackenzie Phillips makes her singing debut tomorrow night on CBS.